which I'll talk about in a second. Maybe you guys can join for that. That'll be fun. Although I don't know if we're going live or if we're just recording it. I assume we're just recording it, because that's how we did the other ones. I don't think it'll be live. We'll see. But yeah, so my weekend was fun because I had a session 0 for one shot, which we record tomorrow. So I'm guessing that we'll record tomorrow and then it'll be released in a few days or something like that. But I'll keep y'all posted. You can watch it. So with the same group that I'm going to do the Candela one with. So I think the one shot will release first though. Music is still running. Thank you, Theta. Thank you. There we go. All right, it should have stopped. Thank you, Theta. It's good to see you. There's been a lot of, you can tell by the state of my little floof coming to the top instead of the bottom. We were doing fine, and everything was, like, working, ready to go. I had it ready to go early, and then I clicked start stream, and OBS was like, your graphics card can't run OBS anymore. And I was like, what? Like, you get one update OBS and now all of a sudden I can't run you on my laptop? Thanks. So at least it gave me the link to like go download whatever I needed to download, and that's what I did, and it installed, and thank God we're okay. We're here and we're functioning and not too far beyond time, so let's go. But yeah, we're gonna do a voicing artist original characters episode today. We got a real sweet character to work with, so we'll do our normal route with that, and then probably some auditions. I've got a few in the pothole that we can get through, especially since we're not gonna be on here Wednesday, because we have ZenkaiCon this weekend. I'm very, very excited. I will give a forerunning or a I don't want to say forewarning because that sounds bad. But a beforehand hello and thank you to everyone who's going to attend the workshops in person. Hopefully those who are not part of the community now and do take the workshop in person, hopefully they'll join our community. You know, that's the goal, is not just helping people and letting them have fun getting to like record things and learn how to be in a booth and that kind of jazz, but also to, if they want to, never any pressure, but give them and provide them a community of people that we have that loves talking to each other and interacting and showing up for chat and, you know, being like good all around, like a good resource. So hopefully those people will join us. We'll see. We'll find out. But regardless, that's where I'll be the rest of this week into the weekend. So we definitely won't have a stream this Wednesday. So this is going to be our only stream of the week. Yay. And then we probably will not be streaming next Monday either. We will definitely be up next Wednesday because I have a coaching session. We've got another guest in for our voice acting coaching the following Wednesday. So not this week, but the week after. And that's probably when we'll be back up. So it'll be a little over a week, but then we'll get back to our routine. And I'll keep everyone posted over the week while I'm there. I'm going to try and take as many videos and pictures and post them onto Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So y'all can follow along with me. You can engage, whatever y'all want to do. Since that way we can still chat and still have fun, even if we don't have our live streams, which I will miss dearly. But yeah, I'm excited. Most of the workshops are fully booked, especially the 18 plus ones. I am running 3 family-friendly PG-13 that are, one is fully booked, and I think the other 2 have maybe like 10 to 15 seats left. And then the 2 18 plus are essentially fully booked. So those are going to be a lot of fun. I wrote out a whole new like 20-something scripts just for the 18 plus event. And there's every line of curse word you can think of, because y'all know I curse like there's no tomorrow. So everything is in there. There's a fur on my eyelash and I can feel it, but I cannot get it. I feel like all of the furs from my cats come in here with me. But regardless, I brought out a whole new thing of scripts, so I think those will be really fun for everybody to play with, and they're a little bit longer sessions. I think the 18 plus ones are like 3 hours instead of 2, so that's going to be fun. And yeah, hopefully we'll build our community, people will enjoy themselves, and this is going to drive me crazy, I swear to God. and we can, build what we have here, because that's the goal, right? Is to give people a place to be. And then, tomorrow, I don't think it's live, but I'm doing a one-shot. For folks who don't know, Critical Role released the beta of their TTRPG that they're creating called Daggerheart. And they said that anyone is open to play with it, live stream it, record it, etc., etc. So the lovely folks at Queer RPG, who let me be in their Candela campaign, are letting me be in the one-shot. The beta for Daggerheart also released like a example assignment, so we'll be running the example assignment but with our own original created characters, and of course I went way too in depth and created a character as if I'm like in a full campaign where I'm like, he has this backstory where he's all like sad and gloomy and everybody dies, and then he's going around the world to kill these gods and things like that, because they have an ancestry in the Daggerheart game that's Daemon, but instead of being like, oh, you're evil, it just means fallen descendant of a god. So that's the ancestry that I picked. And so I was like, yeah, he's going to like kill all the gods because they're all he's going to fall, and I created this huge ass backstory which is not going to be involved because, again, the one shot that we're doing is the one that they released with the beta. So it's already like the concepts and the idea and the plot is already pre-written. It's just, you do all the improv like a normal TTRPG. So none of it is going to come up, but it's going to be fun. And I'm very excited. So we record that tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, I'm shipping out. I got to get down to Lancaster. So it's a busy week. We're not slowing down. But I think it's going to be fun. In pre-biblical Greek, Daemon was a neutral word. Okay. So they are actually using like the root source of it instead of like ways that we now interpret it. Wow, I really like that. I'm glad to know that. Theta, I can always count on you to give me like the historical knowledge and stuff of these kind of things. Thank you for that. Because genuinely that's super helpful. And now I know that like I also don't have to put a connotation on it, right? Like he doesn't have to be inherently bad or evil or anything. That's really nice. And I like that for him. I haven't picked a name, which everybody's gonna kill me for. I'm so bad at names. Names are like, they don't mean anything to me. Yeah, I'm glad, because I love getting your input and stuff. It genuinely is like, and it like satisfies my brain of being like, yes, I can do these things and think these things. So thank you. I'm thinking of, since he'll probably never be used again, I'm thinking of naming him either Mordred or Cain, because I'm a sucker for baddies. Cain is the classic, like, biblical, and his plot is his backstory is like Book of Revelations, Apocalypse, Four Horsemen based. So I was considering something like biblical, like Cain, or the emperor that was running Rome when Book of Revelations was written was Domitian. So I was considering that, but I feel like that's a little too royalty. He's not like royalty-ish. So I was considering Cain. I was considering Mordred because I fucking love the King Arthur myths. I'm a little sucker for like the Merlin BBC TV show of 2012. And I love Mordred and how he's like a good guy, but also a bad guy, because it just depends what story you're telling on whether or not he was good or bad. So I love that aspect. And I think Mordred might be good, so I might go with that name. But it maybe when Daggerheart finally releases in probably like 2-something years or more, because games take forever, maybe we'll come back to it and I can bring my little Daemon to the game and we can have a whole plot and idea and the Four Horsemen can be real. That'd be fun. I do want to do my own TTRPG, as y'all know. I'm still working on it, but since Northwolf was in here a week or so ago and I'm going to be joining his in May, June, and then I have another convention in April, so very good pull on Domitian. Thanks, Theta. I'll be honest, I just did a lot of Googling, so I didn't know it off the top of my head, but I was trying to, usually what I like to do is, some of my personal characters are either based in like taking certain words that are really strong for me about their personalities, like how I do these characters, and then doing names or translating those words into like the Irish language, since that's really the only heritage that I have, and using those versions. So like a name that means such and such, or this word translated in this language could be used as a name. That's kind of what my personal characters are usually named. Like I have a character who is like named Ano, which is not a good pronunciation, but that's kind of the point, which is the Irish word for misery, because misery was a big part of his character. And so his name is just literally misery in Irish. So I tend to do names like that where I'm trying to take words or adjectives that are a part of the character for me, and then do it in some form, whether that their name means that. So I was trying to figure out what to pull for this guy. I was trying to find things that meant like disease or decay or plague or pestilence, because he's if we're talking four horsemen, his like powery thingamajigs is pestilence, plague. But then that led me into the research of like, we kind of created the idea that the fourth horseman is plague. People think the original fourth horseman, who's actually the first, that we call plague, is conquest. It's not, it doesn't have anything to do with disease or infection. It's like strictly like empire conquering other nations, which was interesting because I think we probably changed it in some modern literature because we wanted to keep war, when in reality there was both war and conquest. But I wanted to stick with the idea that we changed it to plague and pestilence and stuff because I think it's a little more dynamic. And so I was trying to think of words that would, that names that meant that. But fun fact, most people when they have children don't want their kids to be named after plagues and diseases. So I couldn't find any names that like fit inside of that idea of like breaking something down, making someone really weak. Catharsis for corruption. Very good pull. Oh, thanks. Is that how you say that? Do you say Patharsis? That's not the worst name. Tharsis. I feel like I would call him Tharsis, and then like take out the PH and just have it be like a root pull inspiration, because Tharsis I like. And then people could probably shorten it, but I like Tharsis actually. Does that mean corruption? Because corruption's another one that I kind of like for the idea of plague and disease. But yeah, I was trying to find anything and everything that would work in this sort of context. Because I had like this whole idea of stuff. So maybe it'll end up being Mordred, which again is just good and bad, which he kind of is in between. I like to make flawed characters. Or it'll be, I really don't want it to be Cain. I don't think it's going to be Cain. But yes, it does. Okay, then it might end up being Tharsis. Because I like how it doesn't sound like a name, because it's not a name. And I think it's easier to rationalize in your head. Like, to me, Tharsis sounds a little better of a name than Potharsis, or Photharsis. Tharsis. Theta, I swear to God, if you end up watching this one shot and he's named Tharsis, I'm gonna have like a little asterisk that says like named by Theta Sigma. Like, because I love that. I'm gonna have to look up a bunch of things that mean corruption, because I really, really want to name him with something about decay or corruption, or, like being. So my problem was, when I was trying to look into words like that, there were a lot of like names or words that could be used as names that equivalated to hunger or like famine, right? But that's its own horse of the apocalypse. So I really want to make sure that I'm careful enough to separate famine and hunger from like disease and decay and corruption, even though these kind of can intertwine a little bit, right? I want to make sure they're separate, because he's very specifically like pestilence and disease and infection. Whether that's nature or people or whatever, right? He's sort of ruining things and destroying them. So anything that has that sort of context, I'd love to pull from. And I feel like things like Latin, because it's a dead language, is also a good source to pull from, because then there's no aspect of like pulling from a culture I don't understand, right? Or that people still live in and people still enjoy. That's why the only culture that I do pull from sometimes is Irish. And even then, it's like very basic, like, this is what the word is in that language. Like literal translations. It's never like, I'm gonna pull from like the gods of the Ireland. Like none of that jazz. It's just straight up, what does the language mean? But yeah, this will be interesting. We'll have to see if he gets named that. We'll have to see. I don't know, and I'm recording it tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited. Daggerheart seems like fun. It definitely, I've been told, we were talking with the DM who's played it, I think once, there are definitely some pieces of it that are very, like, will need to be played with, will need to be meshed a little bit, because they're a little confusing. My personal opinion when I was going through it, it's definitely narrative based. I think the card aspect is interesting, but I think they have to be careful with it, because as somebody who's like a really big card girly, like I like Yu-Gi-Oh, I know a bit about MTG, I know a bit about Pokemon, right? Like I know these systems. Card game systems are made to be like broken. And that's a really weird thing to say, but the whole point of like every single game of Yu-Gi-Oh, MTG, Pokemon is to get the best of the best and essentially break the system so that there only are 3 possible combinations that can ever win. And that continues to change as new cards come out. So my only worry with putting them into a TTRPG is you're gonna have to be very careful of people purposefully being like, well, this is the best deck with abilities, and so we don't play anything else, because it doesn't give you a lot of options. There was a dispute during the Peloponnesian War about the interpretation of a prophecy, whether the populace would suffer limos, or famine, or loimos, plague. Ooh, I love this. That's so interesting. Yeah, when I was reading the whole thing about Revelations and the 4 Horsemen, that's essentially what, like, I mean, it was just Wikipedia, but that's essentially what it was telling me, where it was like, there's this argument that it was translated slightly incorrectly and all of these kinds of things, so plague doesn't actually exist, which was really, really intriguing to me, and also kind of works for his narrative, because my guy is Plague Pestilence, right? But then he sets out to go kill the other 4 gods of the apocalypse, or the 4 horsemen as we know them. So he goes, his whole D&D style, Daggerheart style journey is to go kill death, to go kill famine, and to go kill war. So if the one that we currently call pestilence was meant to be conquest in the original 4 horsemen, that's actually really cool, because it still works, because he's literally going out to conquer the other 3 gods. And as he goes, it's the battle of like, does he end up conquering like the dictatorships and the empires and the cruelty that these things had as he goes through each piece of the world, destroying and destroying and destroying? Or does he go to strike down gods that are doing harm? Is he becoming what he's trying to stop, right? And so that's something I really, really like, and I want to play with. I won't get to play with it in the one-shot, of course, but I'd love to put it in a campaign. So that'll be interesting. The other thing with Daggerheart that I saw, besides the whole card mechanic, which again, interesting decision, and the only thing that I didn't like necessarily, because the cards I like, I'm a card girly, I just think you gotta be careful. The only thing that I saw so far, I haven't played it yet, play it tomorrow, was the stress doesn't make any sense to me, because there's HP points and there's stress points. And so the idea is, if you don't take any HP points, you take a stress. Or if you go into like a certain scenario, you take a stress. And when you fill up that stress, you take an HP point. If your stress just leads to taking HP and then filling up your HP, getting rid of it all, kills you. Why have stress? Why add another whole, section if it's just going to damage you? Like, if I'm going to have HP and stress, I want the stress when it gets full to not just damage me. Because if you were just going to damage me anyways, do it in the first place. I get that it's probably in place because you don't have a lot of hit points. You have 6. And so they wanted a way, and you also have thresholds, right? So you only take damage if it's above a certain number for your class. So they probably wanted a way to say, well, if someone keeps rolling under a 10 and you only take damage if they roll a 10 and above, we need to be able to deal you a consequence. You shouldn't just get off scot-free. I understand that. And I don't have an issue with stress being that consequence. I have an issue with stress then leading to the exact same thing that dealing damage would have given me. I hope that makes sense. That's the only thing right now that it doesn't make sense to me. I would rather have it be like, if you fill up your stress, sure, you didn't lose any hit points, but now you are slower. You can't move as far. Now you can't use a two-handed weapon. Now you can't do this certain spell until you clear it, right? Some sort of consequence that wasn't just damage. That is frustrating for me because it feels unnecessary. It feels like you just wanted to add more hit points and it didn't work for your system. That's what it feels like. If you want them to have more hit points, give them more hit points. Don't add a whole new section just to give them more hit points. It doesn't make sense. But we'll see. We're going to play it tomorrow for the one-shot, and I'll send in my review. And whenever it's out, I'll be posting about it immediately, along with the Candela Obscura one. So that'll be real cool. And we'll get to watch it. But okay, we've chatted for about 25 minutes here, so let me show you the character we're working with today, because we do have an episode to record, so let's switch over. Oh, it's on the form. I need it on this one. There she is. That's the audition we're going to be doing earlier. Okay. So, this is the character we are working with today. Hello to my people watching the recorded episode on YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Voicing Artists' Original Characters. Our artist for this work here today, their name is Amy, or Amy Joy Arts on Instagram and social media. And the character's name that we are working with is Hazel Brown, pronoun she, her. As you can see from the image that is currently up here, Hazel Brown is a cute little pumpkin gal. She's so adorable. Like, I'm getting hiccups already, y'all. I haven't even had any death water. Oh my god. Woo! She is adorable. I do not have any words for how, absolutely cute and almost farm girl aesthetic because of the pumpkin, because of the little suspender style high-waisted skirt, little puffy sleeves. She almost got a farm girl aesthetic, and it's so cute. Oh my god. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of background and history, and then some character description that the artist gave to me for Hazel. So the background of Hazel is that she works at a bakery, but right now, she's only allowed to touch the coffee maker and the cash register, which she isn't happy about. That's the backstory. I kind of love that it's this very unique cutout segment of her life. It's not, here's everything that's ever happened to her as a child and her parents and her siblings and blah, blah, blah. And it's not, here's the universe and what she does every single day and how she feels about all her people. It's simply a snippet, a little cut of her life. She works at a bakery, but she's not allowed to touch anything. That's going to be fun to play with because it gives us a little bit about her personality. Sort of, we have to go, words, Rachel. It makes it so we have to go searching in this context to find bits and pieces of her personality, and I kind of love that. I'm excited to search Let me show you a few of these photos here. So we have this cute one where this is her with a little, what looks like lavender or something flower. And she's just sort of looking at it, and she's got the little blush under her cheeks being like, this flower is so pretty. Oh, I'm hitting the microphone. She's looking at it, and she thinks the flower's really pretty, and she's got a little blush staring at it. This down here is her and her boyfriend. So she's in this cute little pose where she's got sweater on, and she's sort of cuddling up to him, which is really cute. She is also over here standing with her hands folded in front of her, and she's got this cute little smile with the classic jack-o'-lantern like 2 front teeth, which I think is adorable. And I really like actually the eyelashes that she has. Sort of classic pretty girl under lid eyelashes, the bottom ones. It really adds to like this adorable, pleasant aesthetic that's happening here. So let's look at some other photos. This one is again her and her boyfriend. She's in a very flowery farm girl, girl next door aesthetic. And she's got a flower crown in her hands, and so does he, and I'm assuming maybe they're making flower crowns to wear, which is so cute and so wholesome. And I love that she has this swirl on her head too, right next to her. It's almost like a little piece of hair, but maybe like an ear or earring, or it's just part of being a pumpkin, right? But it adds to sort of this almost like feminization cuteness of it. You can also see that their skin is wood. It is like the tree stumps that you would have for actual like vegetables and plants. And I really like this art style, and I like this design of a character because it is essentially a humanoid pumpkin, which is not something I think I've ever seen, except for Jack Skellington, I guess. But he's more of a skeleton, and then he's called the Pumpkin King, which we will actually go back to Nightmare Before Christmas, hence my beautiful Jack Skellington shirt, because I actually want to use them as a reference point. But let's keep looking at photos here. This one I really, really like because the color palette speaks to me. She is having this really cutesy moment where maybe she's a little, surprised or happy because she's holding her face a little bit, and there's this beautiful contrast from the orange of the pumpkin to the darker blue-green sky with the same orange stars in the background as her head is. And it's really, really compelling with the way that the colors compare against each other, especially in this more of a sketchy style where you can see a lot of the line work and it's not necessarily like smooth and bold and solid color. It's very much a sketchy, almost colored pencil style. And I think that against this solid color, flat, dark background stands out really well and gives us a sense of depth and just really draws your eye to this portrait. I like this one a lot. Last but not least, we actually have a drawing of her in emotions, which is crazy. We always do emotions on this show. We do happy, angry, and sad. And this artist happened to have drawn her with emotions, almost like a little character sheet of showing the different ways she would look. So we will be able to use this as a reference point, which is amazing. You can see the neutral state with the 2 little buck teeth, and she just is sort of a smiley, gentle, happy person in her neutral state. And then her happy gets even more excited. Her sad is really unfortunate because you can just see how much her face drops. Like the eyes quite literally droop in, and her mouth doesn't quite go as far down. It's almost more of like a shock look because of how sort of open but flat her mouth is compared to how sad her eyes are. It's almost like a shocked sadness or a disappointment. And then her angry is interesting because she doesn't look all that angry. She doesn't really look like she's very forceful about her anger. Her eyes are definitely smaller, and they're doing more of like a rounded sort of stare. and her mouth is very small. So to me, this gives less forceful, I'm angry, I'm gonna yell, and more of a betrayal. More of a like, how could you type of anger, where it's a bit quieter, it's a bit more solemn, but it's a lot sharper. And it almost like boils your skin or sears it versus like stabbing it, because it sits with you and it sits in your gut. So I think that's going to end up being her anger that we play with. But before we get into emotions, let me pull up the big image again so you guys can look at that one. Let me give you some adjectives that the artist gave for Hazel Brown. So polite was the first one, which makes sense with sort of the wholesome atmosphere that she's giving us. They also did give me girl next door. I believe I said it once before. She definitely has that kind of energy where she's just like very gentle and friendly. They did have charm and outgoing, which I think can be a little deceiving, because a lot of these drawings for her tend to keep her in a closer posture and almost like coming inward on herself. So you might see that, and with the softer facial expressions and the closing in body language, you might not think outgoing, because we often think outgoing people are a bit louder, they're more open with their bodies, they're more expressive on their faces, which is true. A lot of people that are outgoing are, but we're gonna have to pull that energy of being a people's person into a character that doesn't express it that way and is a bit calmer, a bit gentler, a bit softer. That's going to be an interesting thing that we have to sort of tie together, which might be difficult. I don't know. We'll see. The other thing she told me was people are very comfortable around her. So it's not just that she's outgoing and she's trying to get people involved and make them smile, but it does work. People actually do find her presence very comfortable, very welcoming. They find her to be someone who they can hang with and not feel afraid. She gives them sort of a safe environment. And the last thing the artist said was she enjoys befriending awkward loners like her boyfriend Harvey. So awkward loners, enjoys befriending them. I would take this in a route where she sees somebody who maybe is not as easily able to engage or put themselves outward and seems a little nervous, or like they don't necessarily go sit with people a lot or talk to people a lot, even if they might want to. And I think she can sort of pick up on these things a little bit, and so she makes that first step that they find difficult to cross in order to make friends. She does it for them and says hi to them and gets to know them and invites them to things, because there are a lot of people out there who, you know, they want to make friends and they love hanging out, but sometimes anxiety's a bitch. And sometimes trying to learn social cues and get past that anxiousness is really, really difficult. And so I think she takes it upon herself to be like, hey, I'm here. I can do that step for you. You don't have to worry about that. That's going to be fun to play with. So let me give you some of my notes on this character. So I have inviting, which goes with what we were just talking about, where she sort of tries to get everybody to come along and be involved. I also have graceful. Here's one that I have made emphasis on here, because she is very slender. Now, this might be a bit to the design of her being a pumpkin, right? And so the rest of it is just kind of roots and stem. But she has a very slender appearance, but also a sort of slender atmosphere. So when I was talking about earlier where she is sort of body language wise going over herself a bit, staying close to herself, right? She's almost making herself small in an environment. that tends to also come with being very graceful, because when you do have to interact and you do have to, perform actions or physical activity, but you're the type of person who keeps very small into yourself and your own sort of areas, that means when you go to do things, you're going to be very graceful and fluid and dainty about it, because you don't want to invade people's space. You don't want to be too big and wild and throw your energy around, because you're not naturally doing that by yourself. So when you do have to interact, you're just going to very carefully move in these spaces. And that's why I put graceful about her. She might also have a graceful way of using language, because she can understand how to reach out to people who aren't necessarily great at a social environment. She understands how to be kind, how to be loving, how to give people grace in what they're trying to say or who they are, and let them come to themselves. And I think that's a good thing as well. We also have gentle, sympathetic for sure, engaging, jovial, merry. These are all little aspects of, I think she's peppy and excited a little bit when she has people around her who seem like they're being fun. I think she takes joy in their joy. We have caring and considerate, which of course have to be true if your whole purpose is to get people who are not having a good time to have a good time. And then we also have confident. So here's the thing, if she is outgoing and personable, even though she's a bit quieter, a bit calmer, a bit softer, she has to have some sort of confidence in herself, in her own abilities, in her place in the world, in order to be able to start these conversations and to bring people in, right? And to befriend all of these people. So she definitely has confidence. Now let's go back to the Nightmare Before Christmas for a second. She gives me very strong Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas vibes. So what I mean by that is Sally is a character from Nightmare Before Christmas who is very epitome of the quiet, feminine stereotype. She's very much like, talks like this and sings like this, and is very flowy and dainty and gentle and long red hair, right? And she's built to be that way, literally. She is like a Frankenstein's monster in the movie. However, that doesn't mean she's a pushover. It doesn't mean she's not smart. It doesn't mean she doesn't get her opinion across. Because, she is able to escape the guy who made her. She's able to go straight to Jack and be like, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. You need to listen to me. She's able to take things into her own hand. She tries to go and save, like, Santa Claus herself and has a whole plan about it. So I think that Hazel is also a character who, even though they can come across and they are perceived as this almost subserviently gentle character, she is confident and strong and smart. And there is no way to put her in a box where you're going, oh, stereotype little feminine woman. No. She will, be here to be like, oh, this is how we do the thing. Let's do it this way. I will be a leader. And so I really want to make sure we keep that energy in there. I will say I can still see her getting talked over or having her voice quieted from more forceful personalities. Just because she's confident doesn't mean she's going to be like, shut up, I have to say things, right? It means that she might have an idea or concept. She'll be like, excuse me, can I speak? And then other people might see her and be like, no, and ignore her or keep going with their plans, right? And that could get very frustrating. It can get very upsetting. It can make you sad. I think we're definitely going to play with that in one of the emotions, because it'll be a good place to see where her personality lies when it comes to someone questioning her abilities. I think that's going to be fun. So, those are all my notes and all of the artist notes, which means we are going to get into our voices and our emotions. So for voice type, what I'm thinking for her voice is along the routes of Sally. I think her voice would be more of the softer tone, a bit higher pitched, very girl next door, but with a bit of a almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Like almost a damsel in distress style spin on it, but not quite as exaggerated, not quite as squeaky as a damsel can be. I think she's a bit more calm and collected, but that's probably where her pitch will be, is in that softer, more feminine tone. We'll see if it changes. I'm not sure how fast or slow she's going to speak. Haven't really decided. I think that'll have to be something we discover naturally. So, we start with the emotion of happy. So, what do we think would make Hazel happy? Ingenue. Yes. Thank you, Theta. That's a much better word. Yes, her voice is very classic ingenue. Where it's like just sort of the epitome of the stereotype of the feminine voice. That's what we're going for. Floaty and, you know, yeah. That's what I got. That's kind of what we're going for, but we're going to maybe add a little bit of strength to it when we get to those other emotions. We'll see. But I don't know pitch. I'm not really sure. Or not pitch. I don't know speed or anything like that yet. We'll have to see. For happiness, I think she finds a lot of joy in making new friends and making people feel comfortable. So I would like to put her happiness for the scene in a place where maybe she's working at her coffee shop, or she's at, she's working at the bakery, sorry. Maybe she's at a coffee shop or a bakery. Happy to be of service. I'm glad, Theta. We need you. Maybe she's like doing her homework or on the computer or something, and she notices somebody who is sitting by themselves alone, looking a little down. Maybe they're struggling with something, right? Whether they're actually working on a physical thing or drawing or whatever the case may be. And she has this sort of moment of, I'm going to go spark a conversation with them and see if I can make their day a little brighter. I think that's where the happiness is going to come from. So let's give it a shot, shall we?
Hello. Do you mind if I sit here? Great. Could I ask what you're drawing? Oh, wow! That really is quite beautiful. I take art classes every Thursday. You could join if you want. It's totally free. We would love to have you. Yeah, it's a great time. Lots of really friendly people. New people come all the time. Some stay, some don't. But we go to the park and we sketch nature. Some people sketch the people they see passing by. Some people go for the animals. Whatever your interest might be, you're welcome to join us. We have some tea and some snacks too. Yeah? Great. I'll give you my socials, and you can follow us, and hopefully we'll see you there. Have a good day, okay? Goodbye.
Aww. She's so cute, y'all. She's so sweet. It was interesting, too, because she sort of ends up being like at a normal pace. It is the voice that we were going for. That is the exact voice that I thought was going to come out. It is what occurred. She's got just a normal, speaking pattern type of thing. But what I realized while I was doing it is that I found myself purposefully giving a pause and, in the scenario, letting the person that she was talking to speak back, like give a response back. Because what I found was, while portraying her, she is much more interested in listening than speaking. it seems like her way of making people comfortable and feel safe and happy is letting them know that they have someone to be heard with. That she is not just going to come over here and talk their ear off about this whole new person that she's never met and blah, blah, blah. She's just like, oh, that's really cool. We have this thing if you'd want to join. Here are the things we do, right? She lets you talk and give up some of your interests, some of your ideas and thoughts, and then she encourages you about the things that you want to do and gives you opportunities and invites you to things. That is a really interesting way for her comfortability, confidence, and outgoing personality to engage with other people. Because oftentimes we think of the friendly, outgoing person as the one who walks up and is a bit of like, yo, how's it going? I'm such and such. You want to join us for this stuff? We blah, 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 right? And she's not that. She's very much outgoing and engaging with people in a quiet way, in a subtle way, in a very small, sort of pleasant way. And that was interesting because I did not expect it to be so involved with her listening to other people, but it really was. So, we will go to our next emotion. Our next emotion is angry. It is one of the favorites. We love getting to get down there into the angry places. So this is going to be interesting for Hazel. And I want to pull up that emotion one that we were looking at. Okay, so if we go back to the angry face here, we remember that her angry isn't just a moment of rage or vengeance or yelling and screaming. It's not necessarily forceful. Her personality already isn't. And it also doesn't feel as if she's trying to put this sort of energy on somebody else. Her anger feels very personal, especially by the look on her face as we described earlier. It feels very internal. It feels like betrayal, as if she lent out trust and the trust was taken, and she is angry about the fact that someone would choose that way of life or choose that action, and it hurts her deep down deeply. Yep. It hurts her in a very central core place. And that's where her anger comes from. It's icy, it's cold, it's giving you burns, right? It's not a sudden hit. It's a slow feeling in your gut, a guilt sort of thing, a disappointment sort of thing. So I want to play with that for her angry emotion and for her angry voice. I'm trying to think of a scenario where someone might do something that makes her this type of upset. What could make her this type of angry? If she likes people to be engaged, she likes people to feel comfortable and safe. It could be that maybe someone who she brought sort of into this friend group where everybody's hanging out has made a comment that is just really rude and almost judgmental about other people, and that would strike a chord with her because she is the last person to tolerate any kind of judgment or discrimination or bullying, right? Or gossiping. She is not about that. She's all about everybody is welcome. Everybody should be having a good time. And I think she would shut that down very quickly. And I want to play with the confidence in the anger in order to be able to shut someone down on the spot and not just be emotionally in this state, but still be able to hold your ground and be like, nope, you don't get to do that here. I think that'll be really interesting to play with, especially combining that aspect with a character who has a softer, gentler tone, because you don't usually have that. So let's give it a shot. Here we go with our angry.
Hey. We don't talk like that here. I understand that you two have not been on the best terms, but if you have an issue, you need to talk with them. You don't come here and gossip and call them names. It's not a buzzkill. It's being polite. I never would have let you come into our friend group if I thought you were going to act like this. I don't appreciate it, and I will not tolerate it either. You need to leave.
Ooh. Oh, that was really authoritative. Holy shit. I did not expect it to come out that in control. She was definitely angry. I could feel like the sort of bubbling to the surface of like, no, you don't get to come here and talk shit about other people that we're friends with. I will not foster that environment. She definitely was angry that someone who she had trusted had done it, but I'm surprised it didn't come out more emotionally forthright. Like, I'm surprised those emotions were not more at the front of her speech. All of the calm, collected nature that she has stood its ground and really acted as like floodgates, where it was like, we are holding back this yelling, angry person in order to very politely and very sternly tell you to get out before we have problems. That was so interesting. I did not realize it was going to resonate that way, but I really actually like it. And I think it fits well for Hazel because she has this combination of an outgoing, friendly person, but in a calm, quieted way that it is also affecting her more powerful emotions. This calm, quiet nature really has a significant impact on who she is and how she expresses things. And it differentiates her from a lot of characters that how we usually see them portrayed. And I love this differentiation because it makes her very unique. And it also makes her memorable and therefore fun to play because we don't often get to do it this way. Okay, so we move to our last emotion, which is sad. Now, with this sad drawing here, we have, oh, sniffly nose. Okay, we have the sort of look that we were talking about earlier, where it's kind of like angry in that it's not this sort of pure, forceful emotion. Her sad looks a little more shocked than it does sad, right? It looks a little more like almost like how angry was how dare you. Sad is a bit words, Rachel. Sad is a little bit of how could you? And so I like this parallel of the two, and I do want to play with this kind of how could you thing. I'm thinking that, what could make her sad? What could really make her sad in that way? Okay. I think we start from a place of someone being upset with her trying to help. Because my idea is if she wants to make everybody comfortable and safe, she might, maybe she signs someone up for a thing that they're not ready for. And she's like, oh, I was only trying to help, right? And they get angry about it. And so she starts from this sad place of like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then maybe they say something that like can't be taken back. And now all of a sudden she's like, Oh my god, why would you say that to me? You know, and so it sort of mutates into this version of sad and sorry that she misspoke or misstepped for them, but then also they really hurt her, and it's like goes into that how could you territory. I think we're going to try that. So let's give it a shot a little bit here.
I'm sorry. I only signed you up because I really think you're great at drawing. And I figured if a few more people could see what you've done, maybe you would feel more confident in yourself. But I would never. How could you think that? You. You really think that I would set you up like that? You think I could hurt you like that? I don't know what I did to make you think that. But I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so sad. It sort of did a 360 spiral where it started like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to like happen this way. I didn't realize you'd be upset. And then it was a whoa, what the hell, man? That was really, really mean. And then it circled back to, well, if that's what you think about me, then I must have done something. And so it goes back to the I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. It's interesting. I didn't expect it to be a spiral or a circle in that way. I expected to just go from I'm sorry that I made you feel that way to whoa, dude, what the hell? Like, that's really upsetting. Like, you broke my heart. But instead it circled from I'm sorry I made you feel that way to you broke my heart to back to I'm sorry I made you feel that way, which was interesting. And I think it goes to speak to her ability to wanting people to feel happy and wanting the people around her to be comfortable. And she puts a sort of faith and trust in them that they are good people and they do mean good things. And so it had to go back around to her apologizing because she wants this person to have good inside and she sees the good inside of them. And so her conclusion has to be that she's in the wrong. She must have misstepped somewhere for them to think so vile about her. And it's probably not the case, right? It was probably just a hurtful moment where you say something. But for her, she has to go back to being like, oh, I'm the problem, I'm the issue, because she wants to see this beautiful, positive soul in all these other people, which speaks to her compassion and her sympathy and her loving heart. Okay, that is all three emotions. That is us getting to play with Hazel and her voice, her personality, her emotions. This was genuinely like a lot of fun to sort of work with this character. I really love the art style in particular. I love the colors. I really like the idea that she is sort of just this sweet person who is trying to go through life happy and making other people happy. And I don't know, there's something about it that I think the artist does a really good job of portraying a sweet, happy, gentle character without having some aspects of humans for us to relate to, right? Because she is a pumpkin. They are pumpkins. So they are humanoid. And they do have, you know, like hands and they wear clothes. But with the features, you don't have nearly as much to work with in terms of portraying to us emotions. So I think our artist, Amy, does an excellent job of portraying the emotions and the feelings and her personality through the artwork, through the poses, through the very subtle shifts and changes in the facial expressions, like with the mouth in the emotions, or the eyes slanting inwards in order to be sad. Even these poses where she has her hands to her face, she's got a little bit of blush. The one with her boyfriend where she's in this very cute sort of pose with her knees up and she's got the flower crown, right? We can tell that she is like looking at him, and her facial expression, although there's not a lot there, is very clearly one of like a quiet happiness, a quiet joy. And her hands are working on this flower crown, and in the big picture, when she is tilting her head with her hands forward, that gives us the idea that she's sort of showing that she's not a threat in saying hello and in being inviting someone towards her. We can see when she's holding the flower, she has this, her eyes are like lit up like a jack-o'-lantern, which is a really cool way to show the idea of happiness and love, is to sort of light her up a little bit because it lights you up inside. And it's just, the artist did a very good job of being able to portray these human characteristics with characters that have some of those human things taken away from their drawings. So excellent job to Amy. Huge shout out. Again, folks, go follow Amy Joy Arts on social medias. Links will be in the description down below. You can also follow me on all the social medias or join us live every Monday at 9 p.m. EST and give me thoughts and ideas in our chat. Either way, that will be all for this week's episode of Voicing Artists Original Characters. Take care. Goodbye. All right. So that episode is done, chat. So let me take you back to me for a second while I get this figured out. Okay, I can close those. Okay. And then I want to open up our casting calls. Okay. I'm gonna get some death water. Woo! Alright. Okay. We definitely want to do some casting calls here. So, there's this one that y'all saw earlier. Let me pull it up for you. Oh, I can turn the music back on now. So let me turn the music on. And I will turn it down, though. So that way it's not blaring through people's headphones. 'Cause that's not helpful. You only want to hear my loud-ass voice. Alright, music is on, so that way there's something in the background and we don't have to deal with full silence. And let me bring you guys over. Okay, so this is a casting call for like a narrator in a little trailer thing. So I have it shown here because it's also like the completion form, and then I'll probably take it away when I put in all my info. But this says the first two narrator lines are mystical, and the lines after it are in full adventure genre mode and a little punchier. So we're gonna try and mimic that for the narrator here. So let's give it a shot. I think I'll probably just do a cinematic version of my own voice. That's kind of my idea here, because I feel like if I try and put on a certain pitch or tone, it's gonna be weird. So we'll just do like cinematic version of my own voice. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. When the past holds treasures untold, one man's quest for love rewrites history. A blockbuster story-driven game from Adventure Works. And when their backs are against the wall, dive into their greatest adventure in this epic puzzle platformer. Wishlist today on Steam. Wishlist anytime, ink on Steam. Oh, including. Oh, okay, let me record that. I was like, ink? What do they mean, ink? They mean including, Rachel. Oh, Lord. Rachel doesn't get the joke. Oh, lordy, lord, lord. Okay, let's do that again. I think we can be a bit punchier, too, for the rest of the line, so let's try it. When the past holds treasures untold, one man's quest for love rewrites history. A blockbuster story-driven game from Adventure Works. And when their backs are against the wall, dive into their greatest adventure in this epic puzzle platformer. Wishlist today on Steam. Wishlist anytime, including on Steam. When the past holds treasures untold, one man's quest for love rewrites history. A blockbuster story-driven game from Adventure Works. And when their backs are against the wall, dive into their greatest adventure in this epic puzzle platformer. Wishlist today on Steam. Wishlist anytime, including on Steam. Okay. Alright, we will export that one. See if I've got my DAW set up. Can you guys come to my DAW? You can, but now I gotta open Isotope. Beep. Okay, you're up with me. Burner, burner, burner on the dance floor. Whoa. Oh. I just finished Hell of a Boss. But none of the songs are in my head because, of course, it's always got to be something else that gets stuck in your head. Even though I didn't listen to On the Dance Floor at any point in time for like the past 20 years. Of course, that's what's stuck in my head. That's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes. I also, there's one episode that has premiered by now in my time zone, but that released today of... what's it called? Young Royals. So I'd watched all the way up of the last and final season that released, not realizing that they hadn't released the last episode yet. So I'm sitting here like, I gotta watch it. But I don't know if or when I'm gonna have time because I gotta do that one shot tomorrow. And so I'm like, oh my lord. And then, you know, we're like gone and out on Wednesday, so I feel like I'm not gonna have time, and so I'm gonna be sitting on this show, the literal second to last episode, right before the finale, being like, I swear to God, I have to wait to watch the finale. Sometimes that's how the world works. We wish it didn't, but that's just how it goes sometimes. That's okay. Maybe it'll be a nice thing to like come back and cool down to. I don't know. We're gonna be busy even after the convention because everybody that attends the workshops then get edited dialogue, edited recordings from me. And if these workshops fully book, whoo, that's gonna be almost like 150 something recordings that I go through and I edit. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Y'all, I was right the first time. I'm gonna have to re-record this. I just looked at the name of the casting call. The name of the casting call is Anytime Inc. Oh my God, I was right the first time. God damn it. All right, we gotta re-record it. We don't get a choice. Of course, this is where my brain is today. All right, let's go back to the window. Lord have mercy. Okay, this time we can do it. I swear to God. And hopefully it'll work. Here we go. When the past holds treasures untold, one man's quest for love rewrites history. A blockbuster, story-driven game from AdventureWorks. And when their backs are against the wall, dive into their greatest adventure in this epic puzzle platformer. Wishlist today on Steam. Wishlist Anytime Inc. on Steam. When the past holds treasures untold, one man's quest for love rewrites history. A blockbuster, story-driven game from AdventureWorks. And when their backs are against the wall, dive into their greatest adventure in this epic puzzle platformer. Wishlist today on Steam. Wishlist Anytime Inc. on Steam. Oh boy. Sometimes you end up being your own worst enemy. And that is what happens. And that's okay. It's okay. Sometimes that happens. And you just gotta deal with it. So that's what we do. But yeah, it's gonna be like close to, if not over, 150 recordings that I am going to go through and edit from these workshops. So it's gonna take me quite a lot of time. And I did have the, when I did the first workshop, I had the thought process of like, oh, well, what if I did a stream where I'm like editing the audio, but I don't want to do that because A, I don't want to do that without people's permission, and B, the idea of getting to do the workshops in person is the concept that you're doing it privately, right? Because it's the idea that you don't have to share that experience with the world. It can just be for you. Because if you wanted to do it live and publicly with the world, right, you can join me on Wednesdays. And we can do it for an hour where you're voice acting and you're doing characters and you're playing. So it's more meant to be a space where people who maybe aren't as comfortable publicly like getting on a live or showing their face or their voice are able to still have the experience of voice acting without needing to go public like that. So that's why I don't think, even if people gave me permission, I would edit the recordings that they send me live, because it's a private process. Now maybe in the future I'll make it like a Patreon perk or something. So if somebody was like, actually, I would really like to, like join you on stream while you are editing my audio and give my thoughts and opinions. I want to be in your chat and I want to talk about it. Then I could definitely see that being a thing. But I would not make it a default ever, because you don't do that kind of thing without people's permission. But also just because of the nature of it. So maybe if someone asked and they were like, yeah, I would love to have that be the case, right? Versus me asking, then I think that would be fine. Okay, let me... Alright, I'm gonna upload it now. So hopefully it uploads and it doesn't make me do a Google Drive link, because I swear to God, I hate it when things download to my Google Drive because they're like too big as a wave. Oh, this one looks like it's getting sent. We're about to find out, and then I'll bring you guys back over so you can see the next casting call. Submit. Hell yeah. Okay, it's been submitted, so let's go to the next one. Oh, it's a NaNoRenO. Okay, so NaNoRenO, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, is a visual novel like game jam that happens every year. I found out about them. They go through the DevTalk server, which DevTalk is also where Spooktober visual novel jam happens every year. I try to get involved with as much Spooktober as I can. That's one of my favorite games I've ever done. Y'all should go check it out if you haven't. Short, sweet, and amazing. And so this one is an audition for NaNoRenO game. So it is called, let's read the info here, Cursed with a Dead Mom Hair. Okay. Is a steampunk isekai otome game featuring Mei, a 19-year-old who got reincarnated in her favorite anime as the protagonist's mother, Rosalina. That's one hell of a plot. Okay, I'm down. In order to survive with the curse, she has to avoid any death and red flags coming in her way and raise the protagonist into a good person. In the original timeline, the protagonist became an antagonist and a massive threat to humanity after witnessing his mother's death by an accident he caused. The genre is drama, mystery, romance, and a bit of comedy. Okay, hold on. Let's break this down. So, you are playing as a girl who gets reincarnated as the mother figure whom the protagonist in the anime kills and then turns into an antagonist. So you are quite literally trying to survive, because in the original plot, he's supposed to kill you and then become an antagonist. I like this. This is a really cool idea. I wonder how they came up with that, because that's like a crazy thought process, but I'm down for it. Okay, let's see. Partially voiced. Okay, so we are emailing it, which means I need to copy that email and open it in a tab that you don't get to see. Open up my email. 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 Okay. Don't forget to include your name and setup information. Okay, so let's copy that. And socials, okay. Because otherwise I will not remember to put that into my email if I don't copy and paste that in here. So let's put it in here. And I will type out my little thing now. I'm gonna say, oh no, I don't want this font. I do not want this font. Can we please paste without formatting? Thank you. I don't want that font in my email. Okay. Hello. My name is Reha, and I have attached my submission to this email. I have a professional recording set up. Oh, come on, we gotta type setup, including a home recording booth, a Bluetooth mic, a HDMI, focus right, solo, and Rima. My social include a YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. Ooh, I'm capitalizing things I don't need to capitalize. And TikTok under my name. You can also find them in my other work on my website, linked below. Thank you, Rachel. Alright, that's all typed out. So now we can just attach after we do this, which is good. Okay. Oh, subject line. Do they tell me what I should put in my subject line? They do. Look at that. They tell me what to put in my subject line. I love it when things do this. Please name which characters you are auditioning for. Oh, okay. Alright, so I'm gonna have to remember to do that, because again, will not remember to do that. Okay. So, insert name here. I know my name at least. Okay, let's see who we're gonna audition for then, shall we? No repeats the same line twice or multiple times in a row. Takes are completely fine, but it's preferred not to include it in your audition. What? You don't want no repeated same lines twice or multiple times in a row. Takes are completely fine, but it's preferred not to include it in your audition. You don't want multiple takes? That's very odd. Okay, well, alright, yeah, I guess I can send in a one-take thing. It's not impossible. It's gonna be a little odd, but we can give them what they want, so that's fine. MP3 will have to remember character name, your name. That's so odd. I've never seen anyone be like, do not give us multiple takes. Okay. If you're sure, sounds good. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, but I want to do... Oh, these are long. Is that why? Is that why we're not doing multiple takes? Because these are long paragraphs? Okay. Alright, let's see. She's pretty, though. May as Rosalina. The actual Rosalina was an old-timey, caring, and sentimental mother, and she had great connections for most people in her town. On the other hand, May, she is the typical modern girl, as she's quite careless, hot-headed and quick-tempered, and an impulsive young adult. Soft and somewhat whispery, but not too ASMR. Middle range. She's a mother and must feel like she is one. Since May is now Rosalina, the soft voice must maintain the same whenever she exclaims or shouts without thinking. Okay. Alright, well, let's give it a shot. I really only have one, like, mothery voice, so we'll go with that voice and see if we like it. I might still do 2 takes, just because that's kind of how I roll, and I feel more comfortable that way, but we'll see. I still do not understand why I was given this. This second chance to live. Wasn't it once already enough? Just why? I don't deserve this. Why can't it be someone else than me? Actually, I've been wanting to do this ever since I got here. It's sort of weird. I'm in my favorite anime. I mean, man, I've always wondered what it's like to ride these things. It's so windy. What are you laughing at? It's not funny. Okay. Those are very, like, soft, gentle takes. I'm not sure if I should go harder or not. I kind of want to go a little harder. I actually think I'm gonna use my normal voice, and I'm just gonna go hard. Because if they only want 1 take, they take me as I am, or don't take me at all. Here we go. I still do not understand why I was given this. This second chance to live. Wasn't it once already enough? Just why? I don't deserve this. Why can't it be someone else than me? Actually, I've been wanting to do this ever since I got here. It's sort of weird. I'm in my favorite anime. I mean, man, I've always wondered what it's like to ride these things. Ah, it's so windy. What are you laughing at? It's not funny. Yeah, that's a much stronger performance. Even if it's not the voice or the vocal tone that they want, that is a much stronger performance than the sort of softer motherly voice. So that's definitely the one that I'm gonna keep. So let's cut this down a little bit. Oh, I got the hiccups. The hiccups are here. Oh well, oh. Tell me more, did he put up a fight? Tell me more. Shoo bop bop, shoo bop bop, shoo bop bop. We love doing a musical in the 80s about the 50s. It's an interesting decision that they made, but it makes sense. We do it all the time, you know. We choose to make things about other eras, which is fine. It's just like, damn. The shit they used to say sometimes is wild. Very, very wild. Some of those lines in there are interesting. I don't know. I'm not a big Grease person. I think because it gets too... I've been in it too many times, for one. Actually, I think I've only, like, been in it once, but it gets referenced too much for my brain to like. But also, it's, like, so catchy. And I hate how absolutely annoyingly catchy it is. It's so frustrating. I don't even have words. Oh my god. Okay, so this is Cursed Mom Hair. And they want my name, character name. I know they want an MP3. So we'll call her My Rosalina. I think we'll call her both names. Is gonna be the way to go here. The Back to the Future principle. People in the 80s got nostalgic for the 50s. It's true. They really did. They just made so many things that were like, back in the good old times. And it's like, okay. Interesting. Back in the good old times of the 50s. Okay. I guess we do that now, though, because we've created a lot of things that are like, takes place in the 90s or the 80s, like Stranger Things. So it happens every generation, but it's always interesting to see what people are nostalgic about in that era in particular. You know, the 80s was sort of the magic of still being a child without essentially any form of technology whatsoever, and the 90s is just like early technology, and that's sort of what people were nostalgic about. And so a lot of films and shows and things that we make now that take place then deal with that concept and what it felt like. Which is interesting, because I can't relate to it. Because I pretty much grew up with some form of technology in my hands. So it's interesting to watch stuff like that. Same interval, too. Yes. Yeah, same interval. It's really cyclical. Or I guess a pattern, which maybe isn't quite cyclical. Rosalina. Have I been spelling her name wrong? Oh, I've been saying Rosalind instead of Rosalina. So I actually should rename this file so they don't think I'm rude. Rosalina. Give me more, give me more. Was it love at first sight? Give me more, give me more. Did she put up a fight? Okay, I think we're also going to do the little boy. He's a bright and outspoken boy and is very sociable and has good manners thanks to his loving mother. He's the protagonist of the steampunk anime. High-pitched range, but still sounds just a bit soft like Rosalina. Okay. Phil from the Promised Neverland. Yep. Okay, we can do that voice. Okay. Let's get it on. Here we go.
Mama, what are we eating today?
I sound like a little girl. I gotta go the other way. I gotta go the other direction. Whoops. We're gonna do like Ash Ketchum. Even though it's not quite what they want, we're gonna do Ash Ketchum. So let's try it.
Mama, what are we eating today? Oh. I can help you earn money, and once I grow up, I promise you will be so rich.
This is worded weird. This might be English as a second language, because this is a little weirdly worded, so I'm gonna do that again.
Mama, what are we eating today? Oh. I can help you earn money, and once I grow up, I promise you will be so rich.
Mama! Julius! I'm scared. When I was going to sleep, I saw something in the dark, and I don't think I can sleep after that. Okay. All those summer nights. Oh well, oh well, oh well. This little running of lines here made me realize how difficult it is for me to maintain my Ash Ketchum voice when I try to be like scared or in emotions, because naturally when we get like kind of scared, we tend to get like much higher pitched. The higher I try to go in that bitch, the more I start to sound like a girl. Oh Lord, that's okay. It's just how it goes sometimes, I suppose. Just how it goes. Okay. Oh, Wind Waker's here. Hi, Wind Waker. What is this child's name? Caius. C-A-I-U-S. C-A-I-U-S. Okay. That's not Wind Waker. What is that? Is that the Me theme song? Oh, I always get them confused. I will do the Me. My head will do the Me theme song a lot, and I can never quite pinpoint it out. Maybe that's the Me one actually, not Wind Waker, because Wind Waker is Oh, what's the one where they're on the islands? I don't know. Nope, I don't have it in my brain. Okay. Yeah, I don't have it in my brain. So that must be the Me one, because I can't think of whatever the thing I'm not thinking of is. Plot twist. Let's see what this other little boy is. If he's meant to be older, I can try. But I probably can't do it too well. Julius. He's very stoic and antisocial, but he has a huge soft spot when it comes to his family. He's very blunt. Unlike Rosalina and Caius, he kind of sounds monotone, while not hinting any signs of negative emotion, as he's more neutral sounding. Okay. I can just do my low voice, and it might not be what they want because it's gonna sound a little feminine, but we'll give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Mother, you know these men are bad news, right? Let's go home and not get involved in their shenanigans. Being with them will bring nothing but danger. I don't want that to happen to you and Caius. Caius, isn't that too much soap? Whoa, careful there, bud. Just head back to bed, please. Why do I have to look after him in the middle of the night? Not too bad. I actually think that was decently gender neutral. If you put a dude face over that voice, I think people could believe it. Not too bad with that. I'm definitely not gonna do the adult man under him, because there's no way you're getting that out of me. But I actually didn't mind that one. I could believe that's a teenager. That's definitely like the Me theme song, I think. Oh, Lord help me.
Well, 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 well. Baby, I know. The first cut is the deepest.
Alright. This guy was called like Lucian or something? What was his name? Julius. I was not even close. Where did I get Lucian from? What? Oh my lord. He looks like a Lucian though. I will say that. Definitely looks like he'd be that kind of an energy. Little villain boy. Alright. Let's go see if there's anything else besides adult man. Ludo. Which is apart from Rivers is not how Ludo speaks acts. He still seems like adult man, so I'm gonna skip. Oh, I bet these ones are the love interests. Okay. Yeah, okay, so those are love interests. Okay, so let me add this last one to my email. And then we should be able to complete this one. Make sure I put him up here. Okay, send. Alright, guys. That's another one done. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone, and another one bites the dust. Hey, he's gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Alright, our next one. Elizabeth Tome. It is the year 5012, and the sinister Dr. Jonathan Clockworth has taken over the city of Horloge with his army of robots. With the former mayor, imprisoned, and no one else seeming to want to try to stand up to him. It is now up to wannabe pilot Chopper Conroy, her tech-savvy best friend, Sprocket McGinnis, and an unnamed team of rebels to overthrow Dr. Clockwork and save their beloved town. How are they gonna do that, though? With the power of an ancient device known as the Chronosphere. It is said that this device can fix any mistakes of the past without altering the present into a complete alternate reality. Interesting. Okay, let's see. So characters, Elizabeth Tome, librarian who holds any information Chopper and Sprocket might require. She's a mystery to the girls, always giving off the energy that she's hiding something, mixed with a nerdy energy for the mystic and the supernatural. Cryptic yet awkward. Aw, she looks cute. Okay. Audition lines. They want wave. Submit it to... Oh, we got an email. Let me open that email in a tab that you don't get to see. Open that email in a separate tab. Do they tell me? They do give me the subject. I love it. I love it when they give me subjects. I love it when they give me subjects. Okay. All right. So let's type up this email. We're going to say, hello. My name is Reha, and I have attended my audition for Chronosphere to this email. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, Rachel. Okay. Alright. Then I guess we just do the audition. Cool. Okay, let's do this. I'm probably just gonna use my normal voice, I think, and then maybe for take 2, I'll go higher? We'll see what the energy is. Yep. Been living here a couple of days now. Used to live at the library, but an owl decided to roost there, and I wanted to respect his privacy. Tell the great owl thy wishes, and thou salt shall be rewarded with the grandest of words from both fiction and fact. Oh, hey girls. Good news! The owl agreed to let me stay. He's even helping me make an entrance for those who come into the library. Yep. Been living here a couple of days now. I used to live at the library, but an owl decided to roost there, and I wanted to respect his privacy. Tell the great owl thy wishes, and thou shalt be rewarded with the grandest of words from both fiction and fact. Oh! Hey, girls! Good news! The owl agreed to let me stay! He's even helping me make an entrance for those who come into the library. I just ended up keeping my voice both times because it was very enjoyable. The dialogue was like very funny, and I think funny does better in my natural tone personally, but you never know, you never know. These two are part together, I think. Yeah, they are. They're just long. Okay. So I want to make sure those two are right next to each other. Alright, they wanted a wave. And we need a new folder. This one can be titled, what is the name of it? Elizabeth Tome. Okay. Okay. Gotta go up to my E's. They're up here. And I don't remember this character's name, so I'm gonna have to scroll up. Oh, that's literally her name. So, what's the series called? It does not say what the actual series called. So I guess I'll just also name it her name. Fair enough, I suppose. It'll be Elizabeth Tome, Elizabeth Tome. Okay. Alright, that is saved. So, let's attach it to the email. Attach. We are in the E's. Okay. Oh, it's Chronosphere. That's what it's supposed to be called. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna change my folder now. Oh, well. I'm just gonna upload and send. Okay, message sent. Excellent. Alright, let's see what we got next on our lineup. Ooh, through May 26th. Oh, let's see if we have anything earlier. Because I want to get things done that are due earlier. Yeah, this is through March 26th. Okay. This was a big one. This is Rot in a Porcelain Dream. So let me get some Death Water because this is a big boy one. I know that. I've looked at this one. Okay. So, for yourself and the client, the voice team, title script doesn't get pursued or plot of content. You're hired for the project. Oh. Well, it was a public casting call, but it does seem to want to keep it under a weird sort of NDA. It's an interesting thing to put in there when you have a public casting call, but I will do it off stream then, just to respect it just in case here, so we'll keep that one separate. Let's go to our next one. Oh, this one's already passed, so we'll delete that one. What about this guy? This one's March 31st. In the upcoming animated series, Dragon Mag, Licensed Crime Fighters. Work as rather protects Steel City Angels. Okay. Audition guidelines. ABC. Email. Okay. We'll copy that and we'll open an email. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we'll write our little email up where we go, hello. My name is and I have attended my submission through this email. Almost got it. Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Me. Okay. So let's see. Include your name, audition file, email's already gonna be there. Oh, demos and website. Okay, so I can make a note. We'll say I have also attached my character demo reel. My website is linked below. Okay, so we'll go ahead and attach the reel while I'm thinking about it. Ooh, doo 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 doo. Baby, I know. First cut is the deepest. Baby, I know. Okay, let's see. The character, Lady Ramona Audrey, the radio host. Ramona Audrey, nicknamed Lady, is the co-host of Angel City's popular radio station, 104.7 The Halo, alongside her partner, Jet Gordon the Sasquatch. Born and raised in the wetlands of Florida, Lady pursued a career in voice work not long after high school after being encouraged by her friends for her gift of gab and charming voice. She's been all over the US of A, seeing all sorts of crazy stories from almost every corner, but decided to settle in the vibrant location that is Angel City, USA. Her daily work schedule is a simple one, but her partner Jet takes care of the morning show, while she co-hosts the midday blabber with him and finally ends the day alone with the evening lullaby. Okay. Charismatic, clear, okay, speaks clearly, charismatic, charming, patient, has a voice for radio, no lisp, got it. Alright, let's give it a shot. Ooh, we got 4 lines. Okay, we'll give it a shot. Let's go. Good afternoon, Angel City. This is Lady Audrey with the Midday Blabber on 104.7 The Halo. That's right, Gordon. If I had hands, you know I'd be applauding all the efforts the LCF has done for our city, keeping the streets safe from supervillains and monsters. In other news, today marks the 51st anniversary of the brave mountain climber, Flint Cardigale's daring feat for scaling Mount Ironhook in nothing but his undergarments. Well, it's been quite an exciting day, hasn't it, folks? But now it's time to draw to a close. This has been Lady Audrey with the Evening Lullaby on 104.7 The Halo, wishing you all a good night and stay safe. Good afternoon, Angel City! This is Lady Audrey with the Midday Blabber on 104.7 The Halo. That's right, Gordon. If I had hands, you know I'd be applauding all the efforts the LCF has done for our city, keeping the streets safe from supervillains and monsters. In other news, today marks the 51st anniversary of the brave mountain climber, Flint Cardigale's daring feat for scaling Mount Ironhook in nothing but his undergarments. Well, it's been quite an exciting day, hasn't it, folks? But now it's time to draw to a close. This has been Lady Audrey with the Evening Lullaby on 104.7 Halo, wishing you all a good night and stay safe. Okay. I tripped up just barely on that last take of the leading out thing. But I'm not gonna redo it. Because I think it was okay enough that it should be fine. And I also like my radio voice quite a bit, so I think the voice itself stands pretty clear. So we're going to go ahead and voice denoise and send this one in. Aw, shit. I did it in the section that I had highlighted. There we go. Hey, I'm okay. I'm slightly scared. My husband's been marked for the war on terror. Aladdin was taken by the CIA. Ba-da-da. He's not Taliban. You've got the wrong man. Sent to Guantanamo Bay. Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in Wawa. What's this project called? Jack and Mac. And then this is Lady Audrey. Okay. So I want the folder to be named Jack and Mac. And then this character is Lady Audrey. John Kozar? Yes. Yeah, that was my era of growing up the internet, was that sort of like style of YouTube and music. So that was one that was played constantly. I think that's the only part that I really know off the top of my head is that beginning Aladdin part. I've never watched any of his stuff, but damn, that was the shit back then. That was definitely the shit. We used to sing that jazz nonstop. Because, you know, when you're a teen, like a tween teen, you're like, ooh, it's talking about, like, terror and murder and sex and shit. Oh, right? You're in, like, that era. So it used to be the joke of the town. Which is kind of funny, to be honest. But yeah, so that one will pop in my head a lot. But I think I only know that much. I don't think I know what happens next. The one that I used to know was like the Ariel one. Because I think the Ariel section was like the cool one. Or maybe it was the Pocahontas one that was the cool one. Because she talked about like smallpox. There's a specific like princess that was the cool one to know and to sing. It wasn't Aladdin's. But Aladdin's was the one that stuck in my head from all those years ago. Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in Wawa. Alright, so we'll delete this one. Let's look at the next one. When is this one due? April 3rd. Okay, we could probably do this one. Since the other two are like May. Okay. Alright. So, audio drama, okay. This is a flash fiction style vignette about a Canadian goose who buffs up to impress another Canadian goose. The text is about 800 words in total. Target time for the completed product is 10 minutes. Oh, that's so cute. I always like the parody of Zero to Hero about the rise of Christianity from one of the sequels. Oh my goodness. I definitely like listened to them all, but off the top of my head, I don't think I remember any of it. You would think that one would have been stick in my head, like be bigger for me because I like grew up Catholic, but I don't think I remember that one at all. No, I don't think I do. Damn. The sequels were good though. Every song he made was good. Oh, another email. Okay. Prince Ali, marvelous he, Prince of Ababa. Okay. So, it is another hello. My name is my addition to this email. I have on my character. We'll go ahead and attach it. No, let's not, because if they're not gonna ask for it, I don't want to go looking for it. So I'm just gonna say, please. Oh, brain, come back to me. Please, okay. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, me. Prince Ali, where can he be? Please tell us a little bit about yourself. No. Socials, demos I can give you, but I don't want to tell you about myself. Don't ever ask an artist to tell you about themselves. It's the worst thing on the planet. Oh my god, I don't want to do that. I'll tell you my socials here. My website is linked below, and my socials are under my name on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. I have attached. No, it didn't capitalize. I have attached my character number to the email as well for your reference. Alright, I'll go attach it. They asked for it. Let's go find it in the files. Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in war. Wow, now I can't remember any of the lyrics. Oh, I love my brain and how it works. They want MP3, okay. 48, 24, 192. Oh, I think I'm higher than 192. 48, 24. No, I'm 192. Okay, cool. No, don't tell me to slate. Ugh. Hold on, I gotta take a death water drink for that. I fucking hate people to tell me to slate. I can eat some goldfish for that too. I hate when people tell me to slate. Don't fucking tell me to slate. Nobody slates in this industry. So you got me so frustrated I drop a goldfish. I swear to God. Out here making me slate. Ooh, these are good today. I don't think I've had my goldfish munchies in a couple of streams. These are good today. Damn. Oh, you know what it is? I don't think I ate dinner. I'm like, why are these goldfish so good today? I don't think I ate dinner. Lord. Sometimes that's how the world goes. I'm never hungry, so I gotta tell myself to eat. Okay, slate with your stage name, then read the line. Okay. Character name, your name, MP3. Alright, we're just gonna do the lady then, because I don't want to have to do it more than that if I got a slate. Okay. They're not even giving me any, like... No, they're not giving me any, like, reference for what she should sound like. Alright, guess I'm using my own voice. And then maybe high-pitched. We'll see. Let's try it. Hey, Fuza! It's that weird goose! Wow. What an oddball.
Hey, Fusa! It's that weird goose! Wow, what an oddball.
I didn't fucking slate! I hate my life. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, brain. I know you should never do this, but we're gonna slate. Here we go. My name is Rachel Schumacher. Hey, Fuza, it's that weird goose. Wow. What an oddball.
Hey, Fusa! It's that weird goose! Wow, what an oddball.
Okay. We're done. That's the only one I'm doing. Your project seems cool, but I fucking hate slating. And I will not do any more. They want MP3? Question mark? I gotta go back up and look. Yeah, character name, your name, MP3. Got it. Okay. What is this one called? Take a gander. Ooh, the hiccups are here. Take a gander. And then, what is this goose's name? What is this goose's name? Oh, it's just female goose. Okay. I can do female goose. Female goose. Okay, female goose is saved. Excellent. First cup is the deepest. Prince Ali, who is he? Could it be Prince Awawa? When is this one due? May 15th. Okay, so this is May 2. So we might just jump over to casting call in a second. Let me finish sending this email. Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in Wawa. Oh my god, brain. Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in Wawa. I don't know it. It won't come to me. I can't remember what it is. Drowning in Wawa. Fa na 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 na. You're not Taliban, you've got the wrong man in Guantanamo Bay. Oh, because that's the beginning. Yeah, okay, so I don't remember the lines at all because that's not what comes next. Damn, now I feel like I gotta look it up because I gotta figure out what it is. Cause it starts with the he's not Taliban, you've got the wrong man. Sent to Guantanamo Bay. Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in Wawa. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my god. What are the lines? What is it? I don't know. Okay, let me bring you to me so I can switch this to CCC. So we can do casting call club. So I need to take this one off and put this one on. Okay. I'm looking at it. I'm actually just looking at CCC to see if there's anything that is like we want to do at this moment. There's nothing paid that I want to do this moment. It doesn't look like it. Because I'm not a vocalist. I don't sing. That's a guy. I can't do that one. Yeah. I don't think any of these are gonna be for me. So let's try unpaid. And see if any of these would work instead. We'll go unpaid original. It's creepypastas. It's gotchas. It's lots of things of that nature. MCU. It annoys me that people don't put original in the right category. Lordy, Lord. Okay. What is this one? Not quite. The impact of socialism. That would be interesting. That looks like gotcha. Angle what I've already auditioned for. Oh, here we go. I wonder what that one is. We'll try that one. There's the Cursed with the Dead Mom, but on casting call, so we did that. Let's see. Someone doing animated stuff. Okay. It's a game. Okay, we can pull that one up. Okay. Gotcha. Open theater. Huh, we might be able to check that out. I don't know what it's made in, though. It doesn't seem to tell me. Because it does matter what it's made in. Boy, this website does not wanna... is not listening to me click buttons at this moment. That one's in German. Okay, interesting. Okay, so let us go on to the ones that I pulled. I'll bring you guys over. Okay, so let's look at this one. Story comes from a different time. Revisiting an old text I wrote a while back. Would love your help giving unique voices to the characters. Plot follows a group of friends who revisit their hometown for the first time in forever. During their stroll down memory lane, they stumble upon a treat, a trend, and a threat. Each character's total word count falls between 20 and 100. Be adapted into audiobook visual novel and uploaded to YouTube. Okay, cool. Yeah, we could do this one. Shy and non-confrontational. Okay, let's give her a shot.
Thank you. Does he cause any trouble? Here you go, sir. Have some, please. Thank you. Does he cause any trouble? Here you go, sir. Have some, please.
Nice. Short and sweet. Short and sweet and easy to do. Very simple lines, very simple dialogue. Every time I see like shy in a description, I always want to go into like that high voice. I really don't have to. I mean, you can be any pitch and be high, but for some reason in my head, it always defaults to like,
do the quiet high-pitched voice.
I'm like, okay. And so that's just kind of what I do. Maybe one of these days I won't. Who knows? We'll surprise everyone, including me. Ooh. Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in water. He's not Taliban, you've got the wrong man.
Guantanamo Bay.
This is just called short story, okay. Short story. We would put female 1.
Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in water.
Alright, apply. Oh, guys, we gotta go back. Yep, we get ads now. We gotta go back and get that little phrase that I copy and paste everywhere. There it is. Control C. Okay. Then we can go back to open. Okay, let's make sure we put it on this one. A sweet, kind, motherly shopkeeper. Okay, we can do that. Let's do it.
You seem like a fine lot, the way you smile when you look at each other. Not that I know of. He does scare some of the customers away just by his looks. You kids take care, all right? You seem like a fine lot, the way you smile when you look at each other. Not that I know of. He does scare some of the customers away just by his looks. You kids take care, all right?
All right, all right, all right. Short, sweet, and simple. Short, sweet, and simple. Ooh, I think that was too close of a cut. Let me bring that down just a bit. No, don't do that. There it is.
Prince Ali, where could he be? He's gone and deceased, that's where he is. And he's never coming back again.
Oh, now we've moved into hunchback territory. Rachel, what are you doing? Now you're into hunchback territory. And I'm never going back again. I don't know the lyrics to that one though. Not in the way I would need to. 4 years at the front. Give a man his rest. For a little rest and recreation. Give me my girls of pleasure, my grapes of Merlot, and measure one March sample. Sample them at my leisure. This 3-day furlough will be ample. Yeah, miss a few lines here and there, but I know that little section. Scorpio Scorpio Martinez cover of Hellfire in church Latin might interest. Hell yes it will. Oh my god, I'm a huge Hunchback Frollo fan. I'm gonna look that shit up. In like genuine church Latin, oh my god. Some of the best parts of Hellfire is the mea culpa, mea culpa. That's like the best fucking part when he runs through all the people that show up. Oh my god, I fucking love Hellfire. I love Patrick Page. He's one of my mans. Love him very much. He's like the top of the top for me. That's my man. Fucking king. His Hellfire's great. Wish I could reach his pitch. See, I know that whole song. If I can start it, then I can do it. How does it start? Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. Dun, 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 may he be punished. And then do that part. Oh my god. Okay, wait. We'll do that when we're editing. Let's read this first. Frozen Heart is a original project about a girl named Ira who discovers magical abilities related to ice due to the crystal heart on her chest. But unfortunately, she doesn't know anything about it and has been receiving dreams of blurry faces of a distant planet that potentially could be her home. Now she's on a journey to find out where she came from and who she is. Okay. RPG Maker game. Vision for this prize are from inspirations. Okay. Different styles. Girls on. Okay. So, do you have any voice actor positions? No! So why was it in my feed? Okay, goodbye. Well, never mind for that then. Now, what is this one? Because this didn't say what kind of thing it was. This doesn't say what kind of thing it is. Huh. Okay, so we're gonna have to exit out of that too. Alright, let's look at the open things. Let's see. No, we don't do mods. Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. What is this? I don't remember Bethesda. Oh, it's set in Fallout 76? Can't do that. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than this. Words, Rachel? You know I'm so much purer than this. Oh, wow, I can't. I can't say it. Brain is having a hard time today. Okay. Brain is having a hard time. Vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Beata Maria. Okay. You're working, but those are only writer details. 195 South. What is this? Night Fallout. Attack on Titan. Alright, I'll go back up and put in original, but it usually doesn't do much. Consequence of Gods. 3D animated miniseries. Well, we can try this. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than this common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Thank you, Brain. I was waiting, and you wouldn't do it. Ah. So tell me, Maria, why I see her standing there. Why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I'm Did I audition for this already? This looks very familiar. This looks very, very familiar. I wonder if I auditioned for this. Whoa, that's a lot of characters. Holy shit. Oh my god. That's a lot. This is Consequence of Gods. Alright, let me check my folder and see if I did audition or not. So tell me, Maria, why I see her standing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. Protect me, Maria. Maybe I put it under the. Don't let her. I did not put it under the. Okay. I guess I didn't audition for it. Alright, we'll just scroll and see what we got. Oh my god, it is not listening to me tap. What the fuck, bro? He's having a hard time tonight. Protect me, Maria. It's really hard to sing because Patrick Page is so low that flipping it into a lady's pitch is such a hard placement. Oh, this maybe is a girl we can do. Crimson. The purpose goal means should never see everyone else is different. Of phase, not much excited, but not possible. Okay, we can try this girl. Let's see. Protect me, Maria. I've had a revelation. To be made known of my divine purpose. I was beginning to think my time here was almost meaningless, just going through the motions until I couldn't take it anymore. Does it sound insane? Who knows? Maybe all it takes is a want, an idea. No, that would be too simple. But isn't everything possible? I've had a revelation. To be made known of my divine purpose. I was beginning to think my time here was almost meaningless, just going through the motions until I couldn't take it anymore. Does it sound insane? Who knows, maybe all it takes is a want, an idea. No, that would be too simple, but isn't everything possible? Okay. You know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. So tell me, Maria, why I see her standing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. Protect me, Maria. Oh, Lord, okay. God, I fucking love Hellfire. I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm gonna look up that fucking cover because I love Hunchback with all my heart and soul. I prefer the movie version of Hellfire, even though Patrick Page is Frollo in both the movie and the musical. I just personally prefer the movie version just because I think with the visuals of the movie, it's a lot stronger. I don't know, something about it just hits harder. However, literally for everything else, the musical's better. Literally for every other song, the musical is better. I mean, I think it's like Michael Arden or something that sings for the musical for Quasimodo, and he's a god among men. He doesn't get a lot of credit because that's like the only thing that I've seen him be in, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I haven't seen him, but like he's on the official cast album, and that's the only cast album that I've seen him on for like an official Broadway cast album or anything like that, which is wild because he's incredible. And also, I can mostly hit all of his pitch, so I like the musical version because I can harmonize. Well, not harmonize, I can sing it with him. which I love very much. And also, I think my favorite song, even though I love Hellfire, I love Villains, I love Patrick Page, love that man, my favorite song is a song that is only in the musical, which is Made of Stone. That song fucking kills me. The passion and the emotion and, like, everything about the way Michael sings it and just his voice and how you can hear him lying to himself, like convincing himself that Frollo is his protector and Frollo is his savior and trying to cut out all of these extra voices. It's heartbreaking because you can hear in his voice that he knows it's wrong and he doesn't believe it, but he has to believe it because everybody else has been wrong so far. It's like, it's so heartbreaking. I fucking love Made of Stone. That one I know as well, but I would have to be able to start it. Starting them is always the hardest part for my brain. My brain isn't very good at, like, starting things. It can jump on, it can yes and, but it doesn't start very well. Like, if the music started playing, I would know it immediately. And I wouldn't have to sit here and be like, what are the lyrics? I don't know the lyrics. Shit. What are the lyrics? Oh. Quiet. That's what it is. Because they go, Quasimodo, you must free yourself. That's what he does. But I don't know if I can do it without the music and the other voices. Because that beginning part is very responsive. It's a back and forth. It's very, Quasimodo, you must free yourself. Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, quiet. And there, he's like, oh, shoot. Oh, I hate myself. Oh my god. I know it once he starts singing, but that initial talk intro, oh my god, I hate myself. I want to say it goes, quiet. What do you know of me? What do you know of all the things I feel? You're only made of stone. And you, who sound so nice. No. You, who give such good advice. There's something about that. There's a talking that I hate myself. I hate that I can't think of what it is. Because I don't know the gargoyles. And without the gargoyles in response, it's hard for my head to do it. Okay, let's do these quick lines. And now look at us. I'm glad I found another nursing job, but you? Oh, my poor River. You lost your education, your only chance at having a girlfriend, your future. Why does everyone insist on being so violent? Can't this all be resolved peacefully? And now look at us. I'm glad I found another nursing job, but you... Oh, my poor River. You lost your education. Your only chance at having a girlfriend, your future. Why does everyone insist on being so violent? Can't this all be resolved peacefully? Oh, that's gonna haunt me now. What do you know of me? What do you know of all the things I feel? You're only made of stone. You give such great advice. So why has not one single thing you've said been any help at all? You're a liar. If I were senseless, I'd prefer it. Another gargoyle on this turret. Yeah, I need the gargoyle text in order to to put my brain back in order. I'm gonna look it up now. Because I'm very upset with my brain. I'm gonna save this line, but I'm gonna look it up because I'm so upset with my brain for not remembering this. Harper Lawson is the name of this one. Harper Larson. Why has not one single word you said been any help at all? And you who sound so nice, the more your dreams and fancies fill my head, the farther that I fall. Shut my brain down. If I were senseless, I'd prefer it. Another gargoyle on this turret, spitting rain down to the stones below. I do not want to bust the microphone. I would sing it, but it's a belty song, and I'm gonna fucking break people's eardrums if I sing it. One day we'll do a karaoke stream. I think that would be fun. One day we will. But I do think that's the right order. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up while y'all are here with me. Hold on. Lyrics to Made of Stone. I think I have the order correct. Oh, fuck off. I don't want the weird song. I want Hunchback. Although people would argue Hunchback is the weird song. That's what the talkie is. Quiet. Go away. You know what happens when I try to help. I only make things worse. How do you know what I believe? Yeah, I know it when he starts singing. Which is, what do you know of me? What do you know of all the things I feel? You're only made of stone. Who is it that you see? Instead of seeing what I am for real, this twisted flesh and bone, you're a liar. With every new excuse you try out, you only make me want to cry out. Would that I were made of stone like you. You give such great advice. So why has not one single word you've said been any help at all? And you who sound so nice, the more your dreams and fancies fill my head, the farther that I fall. Yeah, okay. I did have it. I just only know it from when he starts singing. I don't know the talkie at the beginning. I'd love to play Quasimodo someday. That's a fucking dream role. Oh my god. The only thing with playing Quasimodo is, like, Quasimodo should be represented by a deaf actor and then have a singer who does the singing half of the role. But the problem is I don't want to be, I mean, I like the songs. I would love to be the singer, but I prefer the actual acting. So, like, it's unfortunate because it means I can only do kind of like half of it, but I would still take it. I would still take it. Personally, I want to be Frollo, but the pitch that they would put Hellfire in, there's no way I could sing the pitch they'd put Hellfire in. Okay, we'll do these two. Here we go. And now you're so riled up, scared of those beneath you. No matter how many years pass, children act as children do. It's so irrational, I wonder what's the motivation. Then you must still your rage. You must become cold. If you feel, you hesitate. You will not deal the final strike, fueled by anger or not. And now you're so riled up, scared of those beneath you. No matter how many years pass, children act as children do. It's so irrational. I wonder what's the motivation. Then you must still your rage. You must become cold. If you feel, you hesitate. You will not deal the final strike, fueled by anger or not. Okay. What do you know of me? What do you know of all the things I feel? You're only made of stone. who is it that you see? Instead of seeing what I am for real, is twisted flesh and bone. You're a liar. With every new excuse you try out, you only make me want to cry out. Would that I were made of stone like you. You give such good advice. So why has not one single word you've said been any help at all? And you, who sound so nice, the more your dreams and fancies fill my head, the farther that I fall. Shut my brain down. If I were senseless, I'd prefer it. Another gargoyle on this turret, spitting rain down to the stones below. Damn. It's hard, like, to try and sing that and not sing it full out. I don't know how normal people sing anything not full out. Cause I'm that bitch who always wants to, like, go full force on every time that I sing. So it's very difficult to just have it in my head and not be able to, like, scream it. I'm like, oh, I need to yell it very loud. I've wasted my faith believing in saints of plaster. I love that line. That line's my favorite. It's beautiful, beautiful line. I've wasted my faith believing in saints of plaster, when the only one worth believing in was my master. He's the one who never lied. He told me it was cruel outside. He told me how I'd have to hide. His words were cool as stone, but they were true. Not like you. Take all the lies. Nope. Take all the dreams you've sown. Take all your lies and leave me alone. Good night, Quasimodo. We'll trouble you no longer. Good night, Quasimodo. Do-do-do-do-do. You're right, Quasimodo. You're only made of stone. We just thought that you were made of something stronger. Oh no. Goddamn, we have piqued my special interest. Oh lord. Masochistic epistemology. The belief that whatever hurts most is true. Theta, you keep dropping bombs in my chat. I love it. Oh my god, I love when you drop info in my chat. Like, genuinely, thank you. That's so interesting. The belief that whatever hurts the most is true. That is what he has. And that is the emotions he deals with. And it's one of the reasons I absolutely fucking love Quasimodo. In the musical version. The movie version is fine. But I think the musical is much more intense about his, like, beliefs and his tragedy and his trauma. And it's just, oh, amazing. Oh, I got hiccups. Fucking love him. No, hiccups! This is my special interest. Hunchback is definitely one of my core thingy-majigs. I love Hunchback the musical. And everything about it. And how awful it is, and how Disney villains have never again lived up to the epitome of villainry that is Frollo. Never have we had any villains come close to him as a villain. The only one that you could argue comes anywhere near is Dr. Facilier. And even then, I personally do not think he matches Frollo's villainry. Because Dr. Facilier is not actively causing the harm, right? One of the things that makes Frollo... Oh no, here we go. One of the things that makes Frollo one of the best villains in Disney. In my opinion, the best villain in Disney. There's a lot of people who are like, well, what he does is like really, really bad, right? He does a lot of horrible things, or like he you know, is very like has an actual conflict. He's not just pure evil. All of those things are fair and true. But we can argue that other villains in Disney lore, and especially if we include every piece of Disney lore, there are some who can be arguably considered like have an internal conflict that aren't just pure type of evil. There are some that are argued to have done worse things than Frollo does, which is hard to do, but possible. The reason why I think Frollo is literally like the worst villain in Disney history ever, for a good thing, right? The best and the worst, is because... I lost my brain. Where did my brain go? Oh, because he is directly, like, putting his hand into every single thing bad that happens. He literally, from the very beginning, he's killing the mother. He's taking the child, gonna kill the child. He raises the child to be abused and manipulated and gaslighted. He then manipulates and actively tries to murder, rape, burn alive, kill other people of Esmeralda's family along with Esmeralda. He actively stalks her. He actively tries to do all those things to her. He actively hunts her and her people down by giving something to Quasimodo to cause... Well, he doesn't give it to her. She gives him the map. But he specifically knows that Quasimodo's going to go try to, like, find her, to save her. He knows. He's well aware because he tells him those things about, like, oh, this or that, or here's where she went, or she's supposedly missing, but we're gonna find her and do these things, so that he will go do it, and they can follow him to the group to kill all those people, enslave all those people. Like, he actively is doing every single harm and violence in that show. There is never 1 second of violence or harm that cannot be attributed to Frollo. Do people laugh at Quasimodo or like get scared of him when they realize his face is in a mask and you can say that's not on Frollo? Sure. But you also can't, because in that scene when they realize it's not a mask and everybody's like, oh no, it literally goes to Frollo immediately when that happens, and it's him going, let him learn, I fucking told you. This is your punishment. So he actively lets that happen because he's there. He has full power to tell people not to do that. But he actively encourages and lets it occur. So every single form of violence and misdeed and discrimination, whatever you want to call it, in that movie, in that story, is done by Frollo's hand. It's not somebody else working for him. It's not minions, right? Like, Scar sends off minions. He doesn't do it, the hyenas do. Sorry. Sure, he throws Mufasa down, but that's it. Then what does he do? Nothing. Hades sends out little minions. Gets the Titans going. I love Hades, but he doesn't do it, right? Frollo does everything with his own hand. He doesn't send other people to do it. He burns the fucking house down of the people and the children inside, essentially himself, because he tells the Phoebus, the knight, he's like, burn it down with them inside, and Phoebus says no and puts it down, so Frollo fucking lights it on fire himself. Like, it's not, he does everything himself, and that's why I think Frollo genuinely is the best Disney villain. That combined with all the other aspects of the horrible, horrible things that he commits and does. He does. He genuinely does every little thing himself. And there's some other villains who do all the villainry themselves, right? But it's never as forceful and awful as Frollo's, and it's never as, like, hand in the gutter genuinely stabbing people. Like, he is the Lady Macbeth. He is the one who goes, fine, Macbeth, if you don't have the balls to go fucking kill the king, I'll do it myself. Right? Like, he's amazing. I love Frollo. Which is hard because he's the only Disney villain you're not allowed to love. Which is what makes it funnier, and it, is also a reinforcer to me that he is the best Disney villain, is because he's literally the only one that people are like, what do you mean you like Frollo? They won't say that to you about any other villain. Literally not a single one. Maybe they would say it to you about the villain from Tarzan. But, even the Pocahontas villain, who quite literally is just a rich racist, you can like him. Because he's got flair. He's got style. He's got a good song. Right? He's stupid, but he's also dumb and ugly and doesn't do anything himself, but walk around like this, right? And that can be funny. Frollo's not funny. Frollo's not seen as a joke. Yes, exactly, Theta. He's not fun. He's not camp evil. He is evil. The entirety of the Disney movie, he is not once portrayed as anything but genuinely evil. Flaws, yes, but he's never played for a joke, right? They have the gargoyles being funny, they have the goat being funny, they have Phoebus getting jokes, he's never once. No one makes a joke to him. No one makes a joke at him. He does not ever make a joke. He is never the butt of a joke. He's not funny. He's not campy like the guy from Pocahontas. Or the Tarzan villain or Gaston. Never. He is always, always, always serious. And it's not just him as in he as a character is always serious. The movie treats him as serious. And that is significant because there are plenty of villains who are, some villains who are serious villains, right? But the movie does not treat them that way. The movie always has a moment of whether it's making fun of them, whether it's you've lost. Even if it's when the hero wins, all of a sudden, they're no longer the serious, evil, scary villain. In Hunchback, when Quasimodo wins, Frollo is still treated as the very serious, very evil villain. The fucking thing comes alive and, scares and breaks off and throws him into the lava. But it's not a Gaston moment. Never once have we made fun of him or laughed at him or not taken him seriously. Even in that moment when Frollo is plummeting, you take that fucker seriously. There's fear, there's and so Theta, you're 100% right, because that is what makes him, in my opinion, the most powerful Disney villain, is the entirety of the story. He is treated by the movie, to the audience, the plotline, everything. He is treated as a genuine, serious threat. And Disney doesn't do that. And I don't think Disney has done that in literally anything else. I genuinely think I could pull up a list of Disney movies and there would not be a single movie where they treat the villain serious the entire time. I might fucking do it, actually. I'm gonna pull it up right fucking now. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna pull it straight up. I'm gonna go list of Disney movies. Let me put list of all Disney movies. Okay, and then I'll let you guys see this. Let's see. Okay. So, Snow White. So Snow White's villain is, I love that this is what the conversation is now. Snow White's villain is, the evil queen. They kind of take her seriously. They kind of take her seriously, but not really. Because she does have that moment when she turns into like Ugly Witch and she goes to see Snow White, and it's supposed to be creepy, but in all honesty, I don't know that it's that intimidating. You could argue her, but I think I disagree. Pinocchio doesn't really have a villain. It's got multiple. Fantasia doesn't have a villain. Reluctant Dragon doesn't really. Dumbo would be... No, they don't have a specific villain. Bambi doesn't have a specific villain that you see, because the hunter kills everyone. I don't know this one. Don't know that one. Oh, that's an anthology. I don't know the... we're not going to do the anthologies. Ichabod and Mr. Toad I haven't seen, but I've heard of. Cinderella. Okay. Cinderella's villain is literally like the most unserious fucker on the planet. The fucking stepmother. They never treat her seriously. Every time she comes in, she's always like, "Ba-ba-dam-ba-dam-ba-dam. Do the things I tell you to do." And then they pair her with two incredibly unserious, like, henchmen ladies. Fucking stepdaughters. No. Absolutely not. And she's got the evil cat. Like, there's way too much camp happening. Treasure Island, I don't remember the villain well enough to know Treasure Island. Oh, that's that one, not Treasure Planet. Okay, I'm thinking Treasure Planet. Alice in Wonderland doesn't have a villain, so that one doesn't work. Well, I guess it does. It has what? The Queen of Hearts? The Queen of Hearts is like the definition of campy. Robin Hood is not the one I'm thinking of. Peter Pan, Captain Hook, is the butt of the joke every single time. Let's see what else we've got under here. Lady and the Tramp doesn't really have a villain. The dog catcher's campy. What else we got on here? What else we got? Sleeping Beauty. Jesus, I barely remember her villain. Is she the Maleficent? Is she Maleficent's princess? Aurora? Is she Maleficent? I think so, right? Isn't Aurora Maleficent's princess? Maleficent, you could argue, is treated with seriousness at all times. I think she is. Let's see. We're at Sleeping Beauty. Where did it go? There it is. Yeah, it is Maleficent. So you could argue Maleficent is treated with seriousness. It is. Okay, thank you, Theta. I think she would be a fair one to argue. I think she's fairer to argue than the Evil Queen, because I think the Evil Queen's old lady form is campy, personally. Like, even if the show tries to create a non-campy, I think it is. Maleficent, you could argue, is treated seriously at all times, but you still are adding the aspect of, like, dragons and magic, and you could argue that one, but I don't think it works. Because even if you argue, oh, okay, she's treated seriously, kind of, her crimes are still nowhere near as bad as fucking Frollo, so I think he still outranks her. And honestly, I would argue she's not very intimidating. Maybe that's just me. What else do we got? 101 Dalmatians? Campiest fucking villain on the planet. Oh my god. Come on, Sword in the Stone. I've seen it, but I don't remember. I think that pink lady's the villain. Campy. Mary Poppins does not have a villain. I'm going through most of the big ones. Jungle Book. You know what? You know what? Yeah, Madam Mim, she's not serious ever. I think Jungle Book might be the closest possible argument you could give me to a villain that is fully taken seriously the entire time. I do not recall any moment where Shere Khan is ever not seen as a threat by the movie. He is a little campy just because of the way he moves and the voice he has. But he might be a contender. I would argue he's a harder contender than Maleficent, because Maleficent doesn't feel intimidating to me. Shere Khan, I feel like original animated Shere Khan, every time he's on the screen, I don't think they pull any gags with him when they fight him. I think he's just genuinely like, I'm going to kill everyone, and then they destroy him. Now, they might pull a gag in the fight. If they do pull gags with him in the fights that I'm not remembering, then he's out, right? Because that's campy. You can't be seen as, like, gagged like that. That doesn't work. What else do we got here? The Aristocats doesn't really have a villain. Is this the Robin Hood I'm thinking of? Yeah, Robin Hood's villain is huge camp. Huge camp. Oh, even Escape to Witch Mountain. I think they're like aliens that are the villains. That's pretty campy. Freaky Friday doesn't have a villain. Winnie the Pooh. The Rescuers does? But I think their villain is campy, from what I remember. I think the Rescuers' villain is campy. Might be wrong, but I think so. Let's see. Fox and the Hound. Ooh. Fox and the Hound, they're kind of their own villains. Because the mean guy eventually becomes a nice guy. The mean dog sort of always stays he's technically a nice dog to Copper. The bear, I guess, is always mean, but I don't think the bear counts. Copper and Todd are eventually mean to each other, but then they're nice again. So, I don't know that you could qualify anyone in there as a villain. I don't think you could argue that. Black Cauldron, I only partially remember. I think their villain is like magical campy. It's hard to make a magical villain non-campy, but I think Black Cauldron's is. Great Mouse Detective. This is the guy I remember. This is Ratigan. He's campy beyond belief. Oh my god. Oliver and Company. You could have argued Oliver and Company's villain, but towards the end of Oliver and Company, when they start getting the upper hand, then the villain is very much portrayed in the humorous light, where it's like, ha ha, you're gonna lose, ha ha, you made a mistake. Again, Frollo, even to the point when he dies, is never portrayed as a, ha ha, you lost. Never, not once. Pretty sure the big mafia villain dude in Oliver and Company towards the end, when they actually like win, at some point there's like a huh type of face when they beat him. So, but that's a good argument. Oliver and Company would be a good argument if he didn't have like that moment towards the end. And maybe if he doesn't, and I'm misthinking it, but I think he does. Little Mermaid, their villain is literally a drag queen. Campy. Rescuers again, yeah. The villains are campy. Beauty and the Beast. Gaston is campy as fuck. Aladdin. Jafar is campy. A bitch can never tell me otherwise. Jafar is not intimidating. He is campy. No one can tell me otherwise. Because that shit's clear. I don't care how creepy or whatever he is. He's campy. He's flamboyant. He's amazing. But he's not in the running. Hocus Pocus is very flamboyant. Scar is the most pulled for a joke, campy bitch. Oh my god. The movie doesn't take Scar seriously. Let's see. Pocahontas, we've established. Very campy villain. Hunchback, our boy, our absolute king. Literally released before I was born, and yet he still holds the title. Let's see. Hercules, Hades, we talked about. He's campy. George of the Jungle's not the one I'm thinking of. It's Tarzan. That would be the one that we talked about. Mulan. Huh. Mulan. Does he have any campy moments, or is he a serious villain from the movie? Huh. Ooh, that's a hard question. Does he have any campy moments? I'm not sure. Okay, Shan Yu gets clowned on in the climax, right? Doesn't he? Because I feel like I remember him going, like, he puts this really big-eyed face on where he's like, and then the rockets come at him, the fireworks come at him. I remember that happening, so I'm believing you as well that he gets clowned on the climax. Because that sort of concept is the same reason why I was like, I think the Oliver and Company guy doesn't count. Because I think at the very climax when they lose, they give that moment of the villain getting clowned on, being like, oh, whereas Frollo never has that. Because I recall some sort of face. Because I know one of the big things about Mulan is that he doesn't care that she was a woman. Because I know there's some sort of reveal where she's like, it's me, and she puts her hair up, and he goes, the soldier from the mountain, right? But I don't think that's what I'm remembering. I think I'm remembering when he gets attacked by the fireworks. So, yeah, I don't think he counts. Let's see what else we got. A Bug's Life, they get clowned on towards the end. I'm pretty sure the grasshoppers get clowned on towards the end. Even though they're very intimidating in the beginning, I think they get clowned on when the other bugs start winning. Tarzan, we talked about. That man gets... So, okay. Here's the thing with Tarzan's villain. It's less that he gets clowned on, although I like this phrase. I'm sorry, Theta, I'm using this phrase now. Because you excellently described what I was trying to get across. I think the Tarzan villain is less that he gets clowned on, and more so that the movie does not take him seriously. The movie is like, look at this crazy man doing crazy things. Isn't he crazy? Versus Hunchback, the movie goes, oh, this powerful man is doing intimidating things. We need to be scared around him. So, like, you're not looking at him that way. So, Tarzan's doesn't count. Let's see. We got all these other ones. Toy Stories, Dalmatians. Emperor's New Groove. Yzma is the most campy villain alive. I fucking love Yzma with all my heart and soul. Kronk! Pull the lever, Kronk! I love her. Oh my god. She's my queen. I would be her every day. I love her. I don't remember Atlantis enough to remember the villain, but I think I remember he has like a big eye and he gives a clown face at some point. I'm calling it this now, when villains give clown faces. Monsters, Inc. is the big spider guy. They don't take big spider guy serious the whole time, because he gets clowned on. Lilo and Stitch doesn't really have a villain. They like try to get him back, but they're not really villains. Spirited Away was Disney? Shit. Well, that doesn't count. Doesn't count. Treasure Planet, maybe that's the guy I'm thinking with the big eyeball. Holes. Holes doesn't count. I don't think Holes has a whatchamacallit. Finding Nemo doesn't really have a villain. It's more of a journey movie. Brother Bear. I would argue Brother Bear doesn't have a villain. Kind of do, but I don't think that counts. I hate Home on the Range with every fiber of my soul. It is camp. The Incredibles. So, he definitely gets clowned on at the very end. And he's also way too campy to be considered anywhere close to Frollo's range. However, I do think he's one of the best villains ever to be in a Disney film. I genuinely do. I think Syndrome is a good villain. But he's not up. He's still not on Frollo's terms. I think Frollo's on his own level. And then all the rest of the villains compete with each other, and Syndrome's close to the top of the rest of the villain list. See, now I'm just going through every single one. I'm not counting the Ghibli ones, okay? They're on their own level. Let's see what we got. Cars. No, absolutely not. Nightmare Before Christmas. Oogie Boogie is as campy as it gets. I love him, but he's so campy. Ratatouille is campy. Enchanted is campy. Tinkerbell, I think, is campy. Bolt really doesn't have a villain. Up's villain gets clowned on. Up's villain for sure gets clowned on. Princess and the Frog, again, Dr. Facilier is a high contender among the rest of the villains, but he's not on Frollo's plane because A, he gets clowned on, and B, he's way too campy. Way too campy. I love him to death, but he's campy. Okay, 2010. The Princess and the Frog was 2009? Holy shit, I feel old. Oh my god. Holy Jesus, I feel old. 2009. Oh my lord, dude. Okay. Alright, well, let's keep going. I want to get through all of them, and then I'll probably end the stream, but I gotta prove my point to literally no one, because I know you agree with me, Theta, but I gotta prove my point to nobody else that Frollo is the king. Tangled! Mother Gothel is campy. Mother Gothel is campy. She is a 2.0 of Frollo. She is Disney's friendly, approachable version of Frollo. Because it's literally the exact same plot. 100% like the exact same plot. It's just, again, she is the approachable, friendly Disney nowadays version versus Frollo. So she, unfortunately, would be close, but she's campy. That's how it goes. And she also kind of has clowned on moments. No, Theta, you have not. No. First of all, you have not distracted me. But second of all, I would rather have you tell me things and talk to me in chat and get me off topic than for me to stare at the screen for 3 hours and go, blah, 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 blah. Okay, submit. Blah, 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 blah. Submit. Like, that shit's boring as fuck. Like, I love doing auditions and that kind of jazz, but genuinely, I would rather have you chat with me. I'd rather have people I'm talking to and be able to have conversations like this. So I appreciate you. Thank you for distracting me. That's what I have to say. Let's see what else we got on here. Costume. Brave. Brave doesn't have a villain. Because again, it's a bear. So like, I don't think the bear counts as a villain. Oh, hiccups. Let's see. Of course, Theta. Oh my god. I'm absolutely pleased that y'all are here and y'all chat with me. There's nothing I love more. Wreck-It Ralph is interesting. So Wreck-It Ralph's villain is not anywhere near Frollo, right? It's not on the same level because he's very, very campy. However, he's interesting because if he wasn't campy, I think you could make an argument because the point of meeting him as King Candy is that you trust him, is that you like him, is that he's not taken seriously. And then when you realize the change, he's taken seriously for almost the entirety of the rest of the movie. So it is on purpose that he's not taken seriously for the first half, and then when he's considered a villain, he is taken seriously. But he's disqualified because of camp, because camp disqualifies you automatically. But if he didn't have camp, I think I would disqualify him because he has less of a time frame that the movie needed to treat him seriously, because the first half he wasn't supposed to be. And if you can go you only have to do half the movie versus doing the whole, you got an advantage. What else we got? Frozen. Frozen's villains are dumb. Frozen's villains are dumb. The second one barely even has a villain whatsoever. There's really nothing. They just learn that they're white people who colonize. That's how it works. And then the first Frozen, the villain wasn't supposed to be the villain. And Hans is like... So he has the, whatchamacallit problem. He has the Wreck-It Ralph villain problem. Where for the first half of the movie, he's not taken seriously as a villain because you're not supposed to know he's the villain yet. And then once he switches to villain code, he is taken seriously the entire time. But it's not enough of a time frame for it to compare to Frollo's, because Frollo's taken seriously the entire time. What else we got? I love going through this. This is fabulous. They did Into the Woods? Damn, I didn't know that. Did not know that. Okay. Inside Out doesn't have a villain. Zootopia does. But she has the Wreck-It Ralph problem. Wow! Okay, Disney really said Hunchback was going to be our only film ever made where the villain is a true villain the entirety of the movie. And then when we try to do another version of him in Mother Gothel, we are going to make it over-the-top campy so that it can't be taken seriously, so it doesn't work. And then when we go, okay, well, we're going to try and take our villain seriously again, but we won't do it for the whole movie so that the villain can be tasteful and approachable and likable for the majority 90% until you find out they're the villain, which is Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, and Zootopia. Like, they really refuse to commit. Holy shit. This is crazy. Disney, if you want a real villain, hire me. I will fucking make you a movie that is Hunchback quality, where we actually are like, holy Jesus, to the villain, instead of all these annoying villains that you're getting hate for, like the Wish guy, because the Wish guy deserves the hate. Like, literally awful. Moana. Moana's villain is a literal volcano. Doesn't count. We're getting close to the end. Coco doesn't have a villain. Incredibles 2 has the dumbest villain I've ever seen. And also is very, very campy. Ralph Breaks the Internet does not have a villain. Alright, 2020s. Here we go. 2020s. I knew they did Hamilton. I don't want to know. 2020s, 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 2020s. Raya and the Last Dragon. Okay. So Raya and the Last Dragon, while not a good movie, I did watch because I'm a dragon girly and their dragons sucked ass, but I am a dragon girly. I do remember their villain. I think I would have to go back and watch the ending, because I will bet money that she gets clowned, like the Tarzan thing and the Pocahontas thing and all that jazz. I will bet she gets clowned, the villain of Raya. I also think the villain, if I remember right, is not in the majority of the Raya movie. So again, doesn't count if you're not in the fucking movie. You have to have been there the whole course needs to be about you, my guy. Luca doesn't have a villain. And Kanto doesn't have a villain. It's interesting that they've sort of moved to a model of not having a villain. I didn't see Turning Red, but I would highly doubt they have any type of villain close. Disenchanted's villain was stronger, but still not good. I think that's it. Yeah, and Wish's villain is where this problem started, because everybody hated on Wish's villain and Wish's villain song for a good reason, because it's trash and he's a bad villain. Like, that's all I gotta say, bro. Alright, we'll have to wait for the rest of them to come out to see if we get anything good, and we won't. Because again, Disney, you have to hire me if you want good villains back into your movies. That's all I'm saying. I know how to do villains. That's all I'm saying. Oh, Lord. Alright, I think I'm going to let you go, Theta. If there are other folks here joining me, I'm going to let y'all go, too. I'm not going to do any raids because, Theta, I know you watch on YouTube, so I can't do them on YouTube. But genuinely, thank you for being with me here tonight. I appreciate it. I'm very excited. I appreciate you talking to me. It really helps me out, and I love chatting with everyone. And it makes these things much more enjoyable. And stay in touch, because we won't have a stream on Wednesday because I'm going to be at ZenkaiCon, but I'm going to be taking videos and shorts and things on like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok. So, yeah, of course, Theta, you deserve it. So if anyone wants to join those platforms and watch on those platforms, you're more than welcome to. We're not going to be streaming again until 2 Wednesdays. So not this Wednesday and not the following Monday. It'll be the Wednesday of next week, where we'll be doing voice acting coaching. So we'll have someone new on. So we definitely want people to join us and talk to us and talk about their performance and give them ideas. So feel free to join. Other than that, hopefully, I would argue that Disney evil or properly evil is the root choice. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. See, that's the thing is, like, I guess you can say because there is one and only properly evil character that Disney has ever done, that he kind of doesn't count as a Disney villain. Like, Hunchback doesn't count as a Disney movie because it's an outlier. It's the only one of its kind over almost 100 years or something. It's like 70 or something years. So yeah, I agree with you. Like, I wish that they would bring back properly evil rooted characters. That's the type of shit I would play. That's the type of shit we do. Or something, you know what's something else? See, now we're going to talk about it. The other thing that I actually have always wanted, because I'm not a Disney princess person, but I'm mostly not a Disney princess person, for a lot of reasons, but I am how I am, right? Most Disney princesses are very feminine. There are few that aren't, right? You got Brave, Merida, you've got Mulan, etc. But all of their songs are nice and pretty and feminine and classic, right? Every single Disney princess has that I'm the hero song. And I would love, and I've genuinely wanted since like I was a little kid, a hero, a Disney princess who is more attuned to, like, because you know how you always want to be represented? Even as a kid, when I was not technically in full goth emo because I didn't know what it was, I wanted a Disney princess that was more like me, where their musical numbers were rock. They had a beat. They were more intense, right? I didn't want this pretty flowy thing, and I still don't. I would love to have a Disney princess that is like, their music is the hardcore shit, you know, versus the villains. That's why I always liked villains, because villains' music actually had a beat. It had a pattern. It had cool things attached to them. That's why I loved the villains. But yes, anyways, I will let you go. Thank you very much for watching and joining with me. I love talking about this shit. Hopefully we'll bring more people from ZenkaiCon into our community. That's the goal. I would love to have more people here to converse with and chat with and make a lovely, lovely community and platform. And to support as many people as possible. So if we get an influx of people, let's be kind and loving to them, and hopefully we'll have a good time. Other than that, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to let you go. Thank you again for sticking around with me. And I will see you next, as in next week, on Wednesday with a new voice acting coaching person. Okay. All right. Goodbye. Goodbye.